did it. I've successfully brought music into the stream, but it's way too loud. That might be viable. I don't know. If Jess is out there, you should tell us, Jess. Is that, like, viable? Troy is in panic mode because we just told him the Wandoffs are back. Bomb on him. And then I turned the cameras on.
I'm sorry. I'm like still very much processing this. Wow. Okay. Whew. Okay. All right. Maybe we might be retired. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
It was just revealed that the Wandoff, the song parody song contest on the Rob Has a Podcast network, is coming back. Like once a month.
Once a month.
That's like there's like three. That's doable, right? Oh God,
They are. They're doing 3. They're going to do October, November, December.
Yeah.
Josh is pretty hype. I do have to say, like, we should take a lot of credit because I think that the D&D Wandoff really, like, put him back in the headspace to be like, this is fun.
I think that was great. He had fun and was like, oh, this doesn't have to be that much pressure.
Yeah. So, like, I don't want to speak for him, but he certainly had said to me when we wrapped that night, like, oh, man, this, like, opened my mind to the possibility of all kinds of other Wandoffs. Like, this makes me want to do this again. I was like, ooh.
I mean, dare I say it out loud? Let me manifest it. If we get to episode... let's go episode 41 for, Survivor 41 of Dragonfly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a Dragonfly Wandoff. Let's do it.
I'm so down.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, somebody.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get P in the chat.
Right.
Let's get everybody. I'm down, man. Todd already submitted his first song.
Get your chompers songs going. Get the waffles in the chat.
Yeah,
right?
Whistle for waffle. Yeah.
There's got to be a song.
I need to duet with Adam. I feel like I
go.
really Adam's.
Sure. Wow.
Yeah, you got to help Taylor.
Yeah.
Adam's good. How is that music? What do you guys think? Is that too loud? I'm like just trying to get my settings. Pia, is the music good? Is my mix all right? Now we're just all being quiet, so they can't hear anything. But
I may have unmuted the Twitch stream so I could hear it.
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Cinnamon twists from Taco Bell.
I could hear it. It wasn't too loud. But then I was wondering if it wasn't loud enough. But
okay, we can make
it
louder.
I only
enough.
listened for a bit, so
that might be louder enough. We do need a Ben song. Taylor does have a beautiful singing voice. I caught her in the greenhouse when she thinks nobody's listening.
I used to in the middle of a crisis, I was listening to Sarah Bareilles belting in the lower greenhouses, and I walked up to the top where the store is, and my dad was like, "You doing okay?" Yeah. Why? You're singing really loud down here. It's like, whoopsies.
But that's a bit loud. Too loud. Okay. I'm getting it figured out.
I feel like with this, unless it's done a Wanda, I mean, when does the Dragonfly head to karaoke? Like, I think that's what,
Hey.
When does Dragonfly?
We got a wide open night. There's 3 hours.
Can I tell you?
In front of us.
I miss karaoke dearly.
I also miss karaoke.
I have never done it, and I want
karaoke needs to be
Wait,
high.
have you ever done karaoke?
No.
First of all, who's karaoke? Second of all,
yes.
how? It's so
because
fun.
She's a baby.
I didn't drink until 2 years ago, so
You don't have to drink to do karaoke.
In the Feywild.
I didn't go to a party until.
One of the last things I did before COVID was we went to one of those like the room where you rent out the room karaoke with like just your friends. And it's so fun.
See that?
It's so good.
Then you can sing all the stupid songs you want and have no judgment. I mean, I honestly don't care. Right? At a certain point, you pick your song and you grip it, and rip it.
One of like drunk Taylor's things is that like. Eventually I'll ask like, hey, can you play this song? And amidst everybody else drinking and playing games, I'm just singing Disney songs. Like, and one of my friends is like, I love it when Taylor sings and she gets drunk. And I'm like, great, perfect. Karaoke. Now we have to do it, you guys. You already enjoy it.
You met my buddy Rick Taylor. He's like my one good friend from college. He lives out in Vegas. He would come out for like concerts every summer. So we would go to like, Fish and all these stupid like kind of dead adjacent shows and stuff. And we were at one a couple of years ago, and I forget. We like came out of the show and he said something like, "Oh, Jesus Christ." And the lady I was with at the time and I proceeded to just start like harmonizing the whole like half the soundtrack. We just walked for like 20 minutes, like belting out Jesus Christ Superstar, which is amongst like the very few musicals that I definitely know like rail to rail, like every word. And he was just like shocked, I like singing like much more than I would admit that I do.
I'm just imagining Rich being like, I don't know how to love him.
There is a thing from like the early Titans era things where like for the first like probably 5 weeks, you're like you would sing something and then you're like, sorry, it's just a thing. Like I have to do it every week. And like I feel like we have not gotten the
you don't get enough treatment out of me.
Titans
I'm nervous. You guys intimidate me. You're so good. You love Jesus Christ. Hey, thank you, Sauce, for that sub. You like Jesus Christ Superstar, Pia? I love it, man. Like, I really love it. That guy who plays Judas in the musical, like, in the movie version, that guy is inspired, dude. He is incredible. I should know his name, because, like, what a performance, man. My buddies from the Monday night stream in Firelight Tales, John and Mike, were up here a couple of summers ago, and I was like, so we just were talking about music, and I was like, I gotta be honest, you guys, I've gotten really into musicals. And they're like laughing at me like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then we jump in the car to go get pizza. And like I turned the car on. It's like belting, Jesus Christ, superstar, you know. And I like bring him down to the pizza shop. I go in, I get the pizza, I come back out, and the two of them, like, you would have thought that like the oxygen was slowly being removed from a like hermetically sealed chamber, you know. They're like turning blue. They're staring at me. We get back to the house, and they're like, you weren't kidding, were you? And I'm like, no. Like, no. What gave you the impression I was kidding?
My senior year high school marching band field show, competition show was Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh,
so I could conduct the whole thing for you.
Yeah.
It was a Catholic school too, so it was even like that much better. It was very fun. That is the one thing. I think it would have to be a New York thing because they don't really have anything like this around here. But I think the one experience I've not had is the like musical sing-along piano bar experience.
I've done that, and it's so great.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
I'm desperate for that at some point.
Yeah, I was at a work conference somewhere. I think it was Montreal. I can't remember. Anyway, it was awesome.
I am like so freaking panicked with like stage fright to sing in front of anybody that the only time I've ever done karaoke is at the RHAP events, right? When there's like a mass of like people there. Like that's the first time I ever stepped foot in a karaoke bar. I don't know how to socialize. I'm a nerd. I play games.
We're playing D&D, so you're socializing.
It's happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's happening. It was weird for me because I feel like I was a theater kid that never was a theater kid, and like because my mom was like an actress and was like a big theater kid, but then like it was like a 9th grade field trip and we went to see Phantom of the Opera, and my mom had the movie. She had definitely like watched it in front of me sometimes, and I was like, there's a scary guy, there's a fire, and he has a mask, and like I'd never want to see it because it's a horror movie, right? I like was convinced that Phantom of the Opera was horror, so I never watched it. And then we went to see the play, and I was like obsessed. I went home and watched it every night for like a month until I knew all of the lyrics. I could sing every part, and and that was just the downhill slope. And then it was Wicked, and then I was
Wicked. I'm very limited in my knowledge, right? It's like Hamilton, Jesus Christ Superstar. There's a couple. Like I saw Phantom when I was a kid, Les Mis, all that sort of stuff. I used to go to Broadway like at least once a year, right? Mom would drag me. She was like very much trying to turn me into Steven Spielberg, so I don't know how she feels about all of this. But she was like, Steven Spielberg's mom used to do this, and I was like, okay, you know, I'm down.
That's a lie. I'm gonna get that on a T-shirt.
Yeah,
Steven
right.
Spielberg's mom used to do that.
I know.
Wait, that makes
what
it sound
a lie, right?
Anyway,
the first like real production musical I ever went to was almost certainly Mamma Mia. Like a certain.
Honestly, like the original production, do not knock it. Right? I went and saw the original production in the West End when I was in London, and it was phenomenal. I had so much fun. I mean, I was an ABBA fan somewhat, but it's like really well done.
I like ABBA. Yeah, you can't.
Most of the jukebox musicals since then can get lost, but
fair.
I saw West Side Story really young, and 42nd Street, Come From Away. There's a lot. But I saw Wicked in London by myself, bawling my eyes out. It like scaring the British people around me because this Canadian is just very loud.
Canadian is quite loud.
I like went through a breakup and I was alone in Europe, like just I was so loud. It was really bad.
It's really the fuck.
P is reading my mind over here.
Yeah, I'm down for that. If we're a piano man and thing. I mean,
please.
Yeah, please.
I'm like trying to conjure the Clancy song in my head right now. I just can't.
Here's your one chance, Clancy. Don't let me down.
Oh, he's so good.
You got to get some Reba McEntire in there. I said, here's your one chance, Clancy, don't let me forgive me for what I do, but when I come with summoning you, Clancy, now, to come chomp him down, down.
Wow.
I don't know if people actually know that song, but
I know Reba,
yeah.
Gotta love Reba, right?
Yeah, the first draft is always like 90% there. Like the second draft is rarely going to get much better. So Alas.
I love it.
Alas.
I was not expecting this conversation when we came tonight.
We'll play D&D. I was gonna say I'm stuck on Defying Gravity Wicked TikTok, but really I'm more and more starting to find my way onto D&D TikTok, and
it's happening slowly.
It's happening slowly, and it makes me so happy. It's like someone getting to know you.
YouTube is doing these has the clip feature now, where you can clip, and I find that like I get so much D&D content in like the YouTube clip. Like it's basically TikTok. It just will like scroll you through whatever you for like endlessly, and I get so much D&D, mostly Dimension 20 right now. But
I followed a lot of like POV like tavern like people, and it is absolutely the most comforting thing. It's like somebody running a tavern, they're like, oh, like, you're ordering mushroom soup today? Okay, tell me about your adventure, like, da-da-da. And I was like,
what?
Quincy's Tavern. I have to shout out Quincy's Tavern. Yeah. Quincy is absolutely amazing.
What are they, though, Taylor? So they're like live streams, or they're just like shorts on like TikTok?
They're
supposed to be like first person perspective, right? So it's like you walk into the tavern, and then he's like at the bar, and he's like, hey, and he like puts a beer in front of you, and then he's like, "Hey, you want some masseuse?" And he's like having a conversation, and you're supposed. I don't know if people actually like. I don't respond. It's basically a one-sided conversation. You respond?
No, I sit there staring. No. Definitely
for the one-person role player. I don't know. The one-person RPGs are like a real thing. D&D TikTok is a beautiful place, huh? I gotta like get up into the TikTok. I've been resistant, and I don't know what the hell's the matter with me. I just feel like I spend so much time like scrolling through things and doom scrolling. But like, there's good shit in TikTok. Like, I've already seen it, and just the stuff Troy shares is enough for me to be like, this is great.
I'm in like Forager TikTok. You would love Forager TikTok. You would love like all that stuff. I have so many.
If you want to lose a couple hours of sleep every night because you end up scrolling through TikTok for like 2 hours, I have a product for you.
If you're not already, follow the Dragonfly TikTok. I will actually make more at some point. But be there first. I'll put the link in the chat.
I did make an account to do just that. I should install it on this phone of mine. And
can I say it's so addicting that TikTok actually inserts TikToks from official TikTok to be like, hey, you should go get a drink of water or maybe go to bed.
For a while,
they are like, they know how addicting their product is, and they literally have to insert their own TikToks to be like, hey.
They have their own Brenna to be like, go drink water.
Exactly.
I think you need to take a break. And I typically
I just whoop. I don't care.
I think I hear the phrase, I know it's easy to keep scrolling, and I'm like,
It is. Thanks for reminding me.
I could be him, huh? Okay, noted. Adam's got ideas out here for me. Pia's like, I could do that. I could definitely like sit in the woods with a cute dog and be that guy.
Oh my gosh, Rich. If you did that, oh my gosh.
I would
do that.
Be doing that.
Do that.
Yeah, right.
Just chop wood. Record yourself chopping wood.
Oh, I got a lot of wood to chop, Taylor. I need you up here with that camera crew stat.
I have recently, probably the last time I was going to, I did follow somebody because they were
Oh my God.
Was it the big beefy Thor guy? Was it? I mean, let's be honest. Was it?
There is the guy who does like the big chunks of wood, who like gets. Could you do it with like the other side of the axe, and he does like chop a piece of wood, like the
and
one
people
side.
Are definitely watching that for technique, right?
Yeah. Dude, I can't even lie.
Or another word that rhymes.
I can't lie. Right? I watch a bunch of stuff that is qualified as, I might offend your delicate sensibilities, my friend, but it's called wood porn. And like, I just watch these dudes like splitting wood with like incredible efficiency. They got like mechanisms. This dude's got a chain and a bungee cord. He's like, bah, 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 they're like chainsawing. There's wood flying around everywhere. I love it like so much.
You have such prime like content. You have a golden retriever. You have cats.
Yeah, I'm wearing a flannel right now.
Of woods. You're wearing the flannel. you have like foraging, like plants, trees. Just tell people. Just record a video. Hey, say that's that type of tree.
Millions of followers. Good
Boom.
God. Oh, I'm gonna go out there and pop and like split poplar for the next 2 months and like go viral. Let's see it. I'll try. Okay.
It will happen.
I've added it to my list here.
What a roller coaster of a conversation.
we started in the Wanda and then the Dragonfly musical, and now Rich is on TikTok.
Yeah. But shirtless, right?
Wow.
Yeah, true. The Wandoffs are coming back. Congratulations. We're all very excited. So we were.
I'm sorry, Trey. You did 4 for the Wanda. You're saying you can't do 1.
Yeah, but like, look, I'm the person who likes to do the extra credit when it's not being graded, and then as soon as it's like an official thing, I'm like, I no longer have interest. I'm required to do this now. No, I resist.
One thing I don't know whether they like this is like okay top 5. I don't know. So
yeah, no, it's not. It's not the ranking thing that bothers. It's more just that like, oh, this is an official thing now. Like, I'm now less interested. It's like, for example, playing here every week. If I had to play here every week, I feel like some part of me would just be like, I don't know. But then the fact that I like cannot, then I end up being like, I'm here. I want to be here.
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear
my independence streak.
Yes.
I get it. Can't relate at all. You know. Very much get it, Troy. Very much get it. Cool. So yeah, we're gonna try to play D&D in space even. A lot of D&D has been happening. We wrapped up our play-by post today. That was cool. I fought Baba Yaga yesterday. That was cool, except for how I lost and died. And then last night, Firelight Tales felt pretty cool, Taylor. You might lose and die, but...
I heard you might not make it, Taylor.
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, currently our healer is not within line of sight of me. So.
No.
So we'll see.
Down at 0 hit points for I think the 3rd time of the fight. So we will see. Ooh, dramatic music. Yes.
It was 3rd.
Well, I'll get better with the music, but yeah, for now it's just going to be dramatic while we talk about our intro. I guess I should ask you guys. Do you have any questions? Is there any like bookkeeping, housekeeping stuff we need to go over from last time? I mean, I know there will be soon, but I always ask at the beginning before, like, we get going here.
I'm genuinely trying to remember what we did.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch it, so I need the recap.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we were inside the library.
Yeah, we put you to sleep.
I watched the very beginning of you being like, go to sleep, and then Troy thinking you were talking to him. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Rich, do you want me to?
Please, dive right in, dude. I love this. This is my favorite.
I'll do some. I'll
add notes.
So the Dragonfly is at basically an asteroid, like inside an asteroid, at a community called the Bridge, as part of the Decidium Spiral, from like a torn apart planet. And we had traveled through the ethereal plane to go to the ancient library that had been blown up in the past to recover some of the, what did we call it? Chrono Lily sap, and return it to Mati, who is the head of Bridge. And we were able to successfully do that. However, Zabar. I think Zabar.
Zabar.
The moon dog, who could speak to us telepathically, disappeared, left, and he did not return with us. And so we, being the good people that we are of the world, our characters at least, felt compelled to go and rescue Zabar. So we talked to Mati. We sent Doc back to sleep on the ship, and then we scryed. We scryed using the crystal ball that we had recovered from the Mordekaiser, I believe, and were able to find Zabar, and the mysterious woman who was with him, or who we encountered when we first got to the library, appeared to be like maybe hiding out from some Nothics inside of the library. And so we gathered ourselves and we went there. We fought some. What did we fight? We fought some phase spiders. Did we fight phase spiders?
Yes, and
poltergeist and poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
Maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
last week. Yep. Keep going.
And then we found that Zabar was stuck in a ball of force that had been created by the woman, supposedly.
Ethereal Marauders.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, it was Ethereal Marauders. Sorry, it was Phase Spiders just the week before.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yep.
And so we had to go find the woman in order to get Zabar out. And so there were other things we saw along the way, which we'll get to. But basically, we had to go fight her. And it turns out that she was a Sphinx. Is that right? An Andro Sphinx?
Lamia.
Yeah. Okay. I wrote that somewhere.
I did shoot a spectral whale at her.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yes.
This is also true.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
We
were the negotiations didn't really seem to be going anywhere. So I just
it was a great moment.
We
were
spectral
trying to talk,
and
then
it's in the ethereal plane, so it was a very real whale.
Yeah.
Whale shark.
It is a whale shark. It's worth noting. Yes, it's a whale shark. Like Malcolm and Denise got to swim with the whale sharks. Yeah.
We had a very limited time left on our protection from good and evil, and so we kind of felt compelled to get the party started before too long because she appeared to be delaying. And basically, did we learn what her motive was? That's what I didn't write down.
She wanted the orbs, right? She wanted her orbs.
That's right.
She wanted info, basically just collecting
Yeah.
stuff.
She kind of was offering a deal.
She's trying to suggest Lux a little bit
and it worked.
It did, yes.
And
she tried once and it didn't work, and then in battle did it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I just hugged somebody really hard.
She wanted to sign a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She offered to make us a deal to basically give us the dog back. I don't want my dog. To give us the dog back in return for either the orbs or information about who knows, but we weren't having it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a dog, that's a cat.
This is a cat. Dog,
yeah. There are two more things of note. One is that there was a blue creature also stuck in a ball of force that was
a merkin.
American.
Right.
Yeah.
American.
Yes.
American.
And we were advised by the dog not to let the merkin out.
Yes.
There was a discussion at the end. Should we just get her out? And he was like, maybe we just should go home,
Yeah.
And
we also have this weird necklace thing that apparently can dispel walls of force, but I used it to get Zabar out, and it kind of faded a little bit, or something withered slightly as I did that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final thing that we learned some birthdays. We learned about some birthdays and ages.
We did. Was that last week, the birthdays?
It was. It was the beginning of last week.
So I would encourage you to go back and watch that if you haven't yet. But,
you could have any birthday you want.
Because we were trying to figure, Lux looks older.
Yeah, Lux is 44 now, so...
Yeah, I think we also determined that a greater restoration was necessary in order to undo the aging process.
Zabar can just kind of do that.
Oh, and can Zabar do it?
Yes.
Part of the reason why we were excited to go get him now.
Yeah.
We also got a gold strap chain thing, right, with the dagger?
That dagger, yeah.
So.
And Melissa, I'm just now seeing your comment, so I will recap all of this in song in patter form. We you'll sing alone, and there will...
I was ready for it too. Here we go.
Too perfect.
Coming on back in.
Rich just played with Rob, who does that every week over on Sabotage. So.
Oh, I know. He started singing, and I was like, "Oh my God, here we go! I'm actually in the show. It's happening. I'm here."
I don't have Lin-Manuel Miranda under this desk here to write lyrics for me on the spot for the closing of the Tonys, right? So I can do a little bit of impromptu, but. Yeah, not that.
Don't hurt yourself down. That was a really good recap. That covered pretty much.
Look at this, Rich. You got volunteers. You don't even have to make anybody do the recap.
I know. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. It's my favorite.
Healthy
I just
table.
show up and people are like
Healthy
recapping.
Table, Rich. Healthy table.
Yeah.
Healthy table.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So that's like pretty much the gist of things, right? We left off last week with a lot of you returning back through the portal to Bridge with Zabar, finding Mati. Doc had like gone back to the ship to kind of like rest and regroup, and to like make sure that, you know, the Badman and Ben and your assorted cast of yahoos over there didn't like create any kind of trouble. They're a little bit, you know, erratic. And
I do like last week we were like, Doc, you should go rest up, and so you left, and then we're like, oh, we need to go use the scrying orb from the thing. So we pretty much immediately just followed
you right back to the ship. Yeah.
Like when you say goodbye to someone and you walk in the same direction, like, oh, that's awkward.
Yeah. It was one of those moments. It was pretty good.
When I was a fundraiser, that was like my number one tip to new fundraisers was like, when wrapping up the meeting, always ask them where they're headed on like when you're out front. And if it's in the same direction as you, then be like, oh, I'm headed that same direction. Let's head. Or if you just find a reason to go the other direction.
Yeah.
Because it's awkward.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It's
Terrible.
super awkward. That like goodbye. Okay, goodbye. Okay.
You're going the same.
Oh.
Okay. Oh no, I actually have to cross here.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Good God. Cool. So, I think that as we pick back up tonight, you guys tell me. But do you want us to like pick back up with all of you regrouped together back on the ship?
Sure.
Yeah. So I think that like the camera opens.
The one question is, does Lux wait for Zabar? Like, does Zabar do his thing with the aging stuff?
I think Lux will go like get Doc and be like, hey, Zabar can do this thing for us.
Great.
We got him. Let's go.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that the camera opens and we see like this cavern, the Dragonfly kind of parked right within it, sitting perched on the forelegs. The ramp of the back of the ship is down. There's this one kind of lone person from Bridge sitting by the entrance as a lot of you kind of step through this illusory wall in the back of the cave, out of the kind of community into the space where the ship is parked. Yeah. And so the camera like trails you as the three of you like head back up into the ship, you know. I think like Jake and Sharp Jumper are like eating in the back somewhere. The apparatus of Huck's like hanging suspended, kind of like all collapsed up in the back of the ship. I think you hear the Badman like snoring from one of the cabins. Yeah.
Well, that was remarkable. Oh goodness. I don't think I've ever felt this. Oh, yeah.
Doc.
Yep.
We got Zabar.
Oh, great. That's great.
He can fix
he's
us.
not dead, which is great news.
Oh,
We're
right.
very
The
excited.
long hair and the
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
It was cool. Actually,
It's cool.
but
You
was
don't
cool.
have to.
Cool to be 40.
No, you don't have to. You could be whatever age you want to be. You don't have to. You don't have to be. But if you want to.
I don't know if that's how like time works.
Well, it does
yeah,
now. It does at currently. You're 20. You're 10 years older than you were before. So.
That wasn't really a choice, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you do have the choice now to either be old or your age.
That's true.
I don't know if like mid-30s is like old, but it's
I
older,
would
at least.
certainly get the Great Restoration spell cast on me, but I just want to make sure you know that you do have a choice.
Are you saying that they have a choice between remaining the current age and returning, or are you saying that they could choose to be any age they wish to be?
That was what I thought the first time, and that's not.
No, I'm saying in
really
this
enough.
specific situation, you could
I'm
be
gonna have to...
any age you want out of the two ages that you have. A
Right. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yes. I'm gonna choose to be in my 20s because
great choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, as will I.
Mm-hmm.
We're old enough to be a 40-year-old.
think like old Ben is just standing there in the cabin looking at you, and I think he's just like, I would choose to be 20 if I could too.
Right?
Did we bring the dog?
Wait, there's a dog?
No. No, we should go talk to them again, actually.
Am I understanding this right, though? When I go see the dog, can he make me younger?
I mean, maybe. We don't know.
Were you magically turned older?
I don't think so.
Well, unfortunately, I don't know if he could do anything about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wouldn't hurt to try, no?
Yeah, you could always ask, and then he might say no.
Yeah, he's
Have you tried like starting
telepathic
like a
dog that can
skincare
cast
routine?
Greater restoration. Like, I don't know what the dog can do.
Maybe.
I
His like. Yeah.
Did he not indicate that he was capable of such a thing? I seem to remember that he did.
No, he's capable of like getting rid of our like our involuntary aging.
Yes.
But
I
my aging wasn't voluntary either.
That's
if you really
very
think
true.
about it.
You can reverse it.
It's not really like you wake up every morning and like
Magically
consent to the aging
involuntary?
process. Again.
Not
Father
today.
Time.
I
needs to
simply
learn about
meant that
consent.
we do not know what might be going on with him, you know. There could be all sorts of things he might be unaware of, and it's... if there's a limited supply I'm apologize. I'm not thinking clearly. I'm just a bit hyped up on the moment.
Did you have an exciting afternoon?
Very exciting. I dispelled
It was very-
2 spells. It was quite lovely.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, Professor. I think that like he like flutters up and like pats you on the shoulder. You know what I mean? He's
Oh.
like, that sounds really great.
And I would say more than my individual accomplishments, though they do give me great joy. We, as a collective, were able to defeat something I believe is much more powerful than we should have been able to. I do not believe any mistakes were made throughout the entire combat.
Well, I did get like charmed for a second there, but only a second.
Oh, yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think I hugged Rhea.
You need
Yeah.
a charm to hug Rhea?
Well, like more of a hug that you can't escape from kind of hug.
Yeah. You didn't grab both my arms though, so.
Well,
Yeah,
it seems like
I
actually
didn't do
she's a
very
lot
good
bigger
job.
than you. I would imagine that she could escape actually pretty easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Well, that was thoughtful of you, Ray, to not make her feel bad after the immobilizing hug.
We were also, I think, floating, which was a little bit strange.
Yeah, that's true.
You get used to
So,
it.
I wasn't
Over,
really
like-
grounded, so I think you probably could have somehow moved.
Over like an endless pit of books, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ben, you on your planet, you dealt with you sold and traded magic items, I presume.
Some, yes. Most of them were very minor, like the pot.
Yeah. Do you ever
I
deal with
still-
like a mercane? You ever encounter one of them?
Mercade.
Yeah.
I
Like a
don't
giant
know. Let me
blue
roll a
creature?
history check and we'll find out.
Wait, I guess I'm asking that too. I can't remember. Did we roll history checks to figure out if we knew what they were? Didn't?
I feel like I did, didn't I?
And didn't we
Then
find out that they are like
rolled-
trading like They, like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. We did.
I wonder what's going on with the stream if I'm doing something wrong. Well, I think that you guys did make checks. I do remember like telling you something. I think that that Zabar maybe told you a little bit more.
Maybe.
Yes.
But Ben certainly, as you mentioned this, is like, wait, you found a mercade?
Yeah, they were in a big force bubble and they're trapped.
I've never met anything like that, but I'll be honest with you, they're quite a legendary being from what I understand. I've read some old manuscripts, and supposedly they're a sort of interplanar collector of items. Kind of like what I used to do, but across the realms.
Are they dangerous? From what you know?
Well, everything is dangerous in one way or another. A person who collects magical items certainly could be, but it's hard to say without talking to them.
Yeah. Anyway, we just left them there. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guess we'll never know.
I think that is like, are you sure?
Am I sure we left them there? 100%.
I mean, about the never knowing. It sounds like you're sure about the leaving, but you could always go back, couldn't you?
Yeah, we could. We could go. We've been there twice now, and it is rather dangerous. So I don't know.
Don't get me wrong, Adam.
But you know where Bridge. I mean, we know where Bridge is now. So I mean, we can like come back another time, maybe.
Well, that's certainly true. I don't want to throw my weight around or anything. I know that you made it clear it's a collective. You like that one, huh, buddy? He's like, I just, well, it's getting a little cramped in here. And I mean, I'm a very small fellow. I'll sleep wherever you put me, but I'm afraid if we keep bringing people on board that,
yeah, what if we meet the Merkin and we're like, gotta invite her back. We don't have room.
They're also very tall.
They're gigantic.
So I think they might hit the ceiling.
We might not even be able to take off.
We do realize that we could like help people and then let them go off and live their lives, right? They don't have to like stay with us forever. We can just like short term help.
Yeah, I'm
people.
not staying here forever. I just gotta find it, then what I need, and then I'll go back to my planet.
Wait, you're leaving?
You're not staying here forever.
What? Well,
we're staying. No.
What?
No.
Well, no. we have an agreement with, so I'll be here, but I don't imagine our service is forever.
I mean, forever at some point is a very long time.
Yeah. I don't mean like tomorrow.
If I may, Rhea, when did your agreement end? Well, what is the term of your contract?
Should I just make it up? Yeah, I think we said we'd do.
We would collect.
I was
all
gonna
of
say
the
like
in
I was gonna say like a year, and then I'm like, is that a year like playtime? Like we play like so? I don't know.
I think that Ben will just jump in here and be like, "Wait, you all have contracts? Do we work for somebody?"
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
In a way, yes.
I'm really in it for the fun. I don't care about the contract.
That much seemed evident.
I'm in it because of Lux, so
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in it because of the contract. Yeah. Once you sign your name down on the dotted line,
Yeah, one's good enough for me.
I think Ben looks at you though, Doc, and is like, "Are you two related?"
No.
I mean, might as well be, right?
Yeah. I've known her my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yes, we didn't quite have time to get into that before, and perhaps now is not the time. I do not know, but you knew each other before you came upon the Dragonfly?
Mm-hmm.
Does it still count if you knew each other your whole life if Lux is suddenly 20 years older?
I guess
I guess it's still her whole life. So.
The amount of lived life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lived life, love, and then laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
Well, I've never known anybody for my whole life. That's pretty lucky.
I'm gonna write that on the wall, I think.
I
like that. Jake,
you have known yourself.
Jake, can we put live, laugh, love on the wall?
That sounds fine. I think Sharp Jumper scurries up attached to the ceiling like a little. Well, I can do it.
Great.
I don't know how to read.
Yeah. We can help with that.
LaPlante said that he would teach me.
I don't know.
The plant will teach you?
Well, that's what he said, but I don't believe him. I think
you know if he knows how to write.
I haven't.
You haven't talked to the plant?
I haven't talked to my plant yet.
You should talk to the plant.
Lux had, but I.
It's very it's pretty chatty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go say hi quick because it's been a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm also 20 years older.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that's related to you talking to the plant.
20 years you missed out on not talking to that plant.
Yeah.
You don't want to waste your life, you know?
As I understand it,
Exactly.
once one turns 30, they take on interests and hobbies and will oftentimes fill their home with creatures and other beings that provide them comfort that is not often available to them in a romantic partner.
Is that what we're doing?
For sure. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that's exactly what I did. Yeah, I mean, that's actually a very accurate depiction of what happened to me at my old age.
What kind of creatures did you
Well, they're kobolds. We were very limited, you know. I didn't have a lot of options.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I had the talking plant for a little while, but I got very tired of that.
Yeah.
Tried a cat. We all know how that worked out.
Oh.
Right, yeah, you're not a fan.
Yeah.
Yep.
I apologize. Lux, you were about to go speak with your plant.
Right. What's its name? Seed?
Seed.
Yes.
So I would say, hey, it's your plant. Your call.
Well, the plant already said its name was Seed.
Yeah.
The plant said
that's how we got that name,
and if our entire thing is you get to choose your name, then Lex goes over to
Seed.
Actually, your name is not
Dennis. Yeah.
You don't have to be called Seed.
Your name is Dennis.
Dennis.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we just lose talent.
Yeah, we lost.
She Lux walks into the other room. And you just
You're back.
She's
back.
Yeah. Oh my God. The horror. I'm like, no, please.
We are so good at streaming D&D. It's incredible.
It really is. Yeah. Basically professional.
Love you guys.
Okay.
Professionals.
Okay.
Okay. So you want to go talk to your plant?
Hello?
Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
You step up into the cabin, right? It's like I imagine this big tree in like the slightly too small pot in the cabin, like right behind the kind of helm, you know? And so you just hear like, hi.
Is that its voice?
Yes, this is my voice. I'm a plant.
Hi.
Do I know you? You look
Yes,
like that girl, but older.
What?
You look a lot like that girl, but older.
Yeah, I'm the same one. I just got older.
Why are you whispering?
Because that's what you're doing.
No, this...
It's just I don't want to yell because the context might... I don't want to yell because you're whispering. Or you're not whispering, but you sound like you're whispering.
Well, I don't have a circulatory system or
That's
lungs,
fair.
so it's very hard for me to make these noises.
No, yeah. Yep. How do you feel about being able to talk, by the way? Is it okay?
Yeah, this is fine.
Okay. All right. Just want to check. Also, they told me that your name is Seed.
That's right.
Did somebody name you, or did you pick that?
Does it matter?
Yes. If you would like to be called something else at any point, just let me know.
Is there something wrong with Seed?
No, not at all. I'm just letting you know. It's a thing.
That frog person keeps asking me if I could teach it how to read.
Yeah. Which you don't know how to read, right?
No.
Yeah. Well, we can figure that out.
I told him I'd take care of it so he would leave me alone.
Oh. Well, yeah, we will take care of it. Just let somebody know so we can do that. But now we've talked, so now it's okay.
That's great. I'm gonna need some fertilizer.
Yes, I can definitely figure that out. I know somebody has berries, I think.
I don't want berries. I want fertilizer.
Well, no, I mean, like, you know, we could start like a compost, you know?
I need blood.
Excuse me?
Blood.
You need... Why do you need blood?
Blood and bone meal.
Why?
The rubies. I'm gonna be fruiting.
Can you grow something different?
No. I'm only one type of plant. Can you just look like somebody different?
I think she looks different. Yeah. Your hair gets like shorter and like your face shape changes a little bit.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Can all of you do that?
No, just me and Doc.
Oh, I like that one.
Waffle.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
I love waffle.
Yes, waffle's great. Waffle's great. Yes.
Yeah, so I need blood and bone in the dirt.
Gosh, you know, doesn't the Badman cough up blood sometimes?
I mean, I've seen him cough up a lot of hair. I'll ask him. He sleeps a lot.
Yes.
I
don't know.
He's going through puberty.
Yeah. Well, I'll try and figure something out about that blood situation. Yeah.
It's very important for my mineral content.
Okay. Maybe, okay. All right.
Talk to
it was
the
really
plant,
nice.
they said. It'll be fun.
What could
I demand a
possibly go
blood
wrong?
sacrifice.
I
Taylor's
will
really
talk to you
regretting.
later.
Okay.
Talk to the
Have a
plant.
good
'cause
day.
Yeah,
space
you
don't
too.
kill.
Okay,
Bye,
bye.
old lady.
How's Seed doing? Oh, you look different. Wait, did you change back?
She did, yeah. Yeah. I think maybe if she's walking back, like she changes back.
Oh, yeah. You can change how you don't. Why do you don't have to look 20 years older? You could just look 20 years
Oh
younger.
yeah, it's just my hair that's longer, really.
Yeah, but
And
can
the knowledge
you
that
change
I'm
your
20
hair?
years older.
Does your hair change when you're changed?
Yeah.
So
I like it kind of long.
It's
That
like
was kind of cool.
like the best people for this to happen to, really.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to like actually be 10 years
don't
older,
wanna-
right? Like I would like to get that
feeling
time back.
44 is a little
Sure.
bit different than feeling 24. You, know
You
what I
should
mean?
want to get that time back. Growing old, it's for the dogs.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the dog's
Yeah.
gonna make them younger. So
Yeah, I
That's
realized that
true.
once I said it. That's actually pretty
Also-
clever.
You guys.
Yeah.
The plant needs blood and bone meal.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Like
Says pardon?
for its mineral content to
Like
make
regular-
the rubies.
You did
Like-
say it
like-
grows rubies, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess it makes kind of sense.
Well,
So just like regular blood?
Wait, but are there other
Okay.
sources of the minerals other than blood and
There's-
bone meal?
Right? There's got to be like a substitute.
Like
right.
like rubies aren't like normally made out of blood and bone meal, right?
Yeah,
Well,
but they're also
maybe
not
it's
normally
just-
grown on trees.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a very astute observation. Actually, I've never seen a ruby tree before.
Yeah.
I have heard a lot of analogies about blood and stones, but I'm not sure how that's related.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do about this. So if any
Well-
of you have any ideas, I would really appreciate it.
I mean,
think-
you got any of that shark?
I actually think during the conversation with the plant that Reginald would have offered to leave the ship and go get the dog to come.
Red's
I
like
think
realizing this
he's-
is yeah.
Yeah, I think Reg is not here for this conversation.
I don't know if we have. I mean, you could ask Jake if we have more shark. I guess. Have we rested since our fight? Am I at less than full HP? Am I bleeding? I have like a wound. I'm just like,
you guys are like still pretty hurt. Yeah.
I guess I don't want it. If it likes that, I don't want to be the source of that. So, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Well, I think that's probably a good idea. We should feed the blood-drinking plant our own blood.
No.
When we were in the bridge, there was like a market. Do they like? Is there meat, or are they mostly like a mostly?
Yeah, they have meats. Yeah, there are all manner of these like kind of small yaks that live in some of the cave system there. They grow a bunch of like fungi, mushrooms, all sorts of stuff.
Oh, yak blood. You could get.
Yum. Great.
Wait. I may be confusing. I'm like, I have vials of blood. I think I have vials of blood from this session. I don't think I do. I do.
Wait, what session do you have vials of blood from?
I have troll blood from my other game, okay? I have it. For making healing potions.
I have scorpion blood.
Right. For totally normal healing purposes.
Yeah, yeah, that was definitely my home game. I have troll blood. I'm so sorry.
There was a whole moment in the stream last
I played too much D&D.
I know, I feel you.
Same. It's been a rough week.
I'm like, I have blood? Oh, blood.
Like, what spells do I have? Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
so we could buy meat. We could probably get blood from the bridge, and then just like have it in vials, and Jake could store it, and then we could source it to the plant. He says he needs bone as well. We could buy that as well. And really, however much we spend, we will turn a profit because it's going to grow rubies. So
I guess as long as we're not, it just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't feel great.
I mean, we could ditch that plant as soon as we
could get it. Wait, we would take it.
I tried to tell you about the potted plant situation. It's really you get more than you bargained for once they start talking.
Well, I also picked like a tree.
Well,
not really.
Yeah.
Not sure what to tell you about that one, kiddo.
I accept what's happening, and we will figure it out.
I did bring an axe. I think he says way too loudly. Like, hey.
Yeah, how close is the tree?
Hey.
I do. By this point, would I have been able to get the dog?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Reg, you've like walked back through the community. I think like at this point, folks are like acknowledging that you're like here, right? And they're kind of giving you like small nods. Like there are some faces that you're starting to remember, right? And I think as you're walking back,
I've seen you. Yes.
Yeah, with Zabar at your side, I think like a young man comes up to you, and it's like Martin, and there's a couple of others with him, right? Like a younger kind of like early 20s looking like woman with this like really short kind of bob of black hair, and another like man who's maybe a little bit older than Martin is. And I think Martin's like, oh hey, you guys, you guys made out pretty good, huh?
Yes, we were successful on our mission and suffered no known casualties.
And I think that the guy that's with them is kind of like, let me ask you, this guy, he just led you right here?
This guy?
And I think Martin's like,
Martin.
Yeah, and I think Martin's like, it wasn't exactly like that. It was really,
of course.
I mean,
no.
I had a tough decision, and I think that like the girl that's with him is like, they're gonna take your horse, Marty. Ooh, like you fucked up. And I think the two of them are kind of like fucking with Martin a little bit, and he's like, I know, I shouldn't have, I know, but it worked out. It's good. It worked out. They're good. Really.
We put Martin in a very difficult situation, and it appears that his skills of diplomacy were essential to avoiding unnecessary death, and has brought a boon to the city. And I believe for that reason, he should be commended and not ridiculed.
And I think Martin's like, what? Wow, thanks. I just wanted to see if maybe I could show them your ship. It really is, we don't see stuff like that here.
You wish to see the Dragonfly? Yes, of course. Zebar, now is an okay time to come back, yes?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I owe you guys a big one. I think you hear his voice in your head. Like, also, yeah, I mean, this is the ghost-ish thing, right? If we don't get to them pretty quick, actually, it's permanent. So we we should go.
Yes. Introductions first. I am Professor Reginald Frybottom.
And I think that the girl's name is like, the girl says, I'm Erica. This is Randolph.
Your name is Merica? Or Erica? I did not.
Erica. This is Randolph.
And Randolph. Wonderful. Please follow me. Time is of the essence, as time is of essence.
And Martin's like, thanks for this. He just kind of like whispers to you, like, I really appreciate it. And yeah, these three fall in behind you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we go back to the ship.
Yeah. I think upon like striding out into the cavern, Randolph and Erica are like, holy shit. And like she's like kind of just stops staring at it, and he turns looking at Martin like, oh wow, you're right about this. That's cool. And
yes. Yeah. It appears that Martin made a tactical decision to invite our ship back in a way that would inspire and create harmony for those in bridge. And again, he is to be commended for that and not ridiculed.
And I think like he just kind of like looks at the two of them. Martin's kind of quiet a little bit, but I think that Randolph like looks at you like, yeah, right, sure. Are you guys staying here for a while?
What is a while? It remains to be seen.
It's so cool. And I think you hear Zabar in the back of your head, Professor, like, yeah, we probably should just, yeah.
Yes.
And he sort of like trots forward.
It was wonderful to meet you, Erica and Randolph. It will most likely be the last time we see each other. Martin, perhaps the same, I know not. Good day.
Huh? Oh, like as you're walking away, I think you hear like the low voice of Erica, like, I get it, Marty, but they're still gonna take your horse. You fucked up, and so like, yeah, you head up the back of the ramp. You guys see the Professor and Zabar come like trotting into the back in the cargo bay. Sharp Jumper is like scrawling on the wall like a big piece of chalk. It's not that great, you know. I think that Yana is like, no, just like that. No, like showing them like flashcards of letters, trying to draw on the wall. Yeah. And so Zabar comes like trotting in and kind of looks at the pair of you, or the lot of you, and you all sort of hear his voice in your head like, I just I want to thank you guys again for all of that. I'm pretty sure I would have been trapped in there for a really long time.
Yeah, well, you came with us to go there, and you know, kind of our fault that you got stuck there, and we figured it's the least we could do, you know. So
I got cocky. I shouldn't have gone in alone. I haven't been there in a really long time.
Yeah, what did actually happen when you went in?
Ghosts everywhere. They were coming down out of the roofs, out of the walls, but I think it was just an illusion. I think she tricked us.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
That does make sense.
I have a rather faint memory of when you first went in through the door. We peeked through briefly and saw a large-eyed green creature. I believe perhaps it was a Nothic. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's a few of them in there, actually. I think that they're what's left of the old Arcanists, the wizards. Came to this place looking for orbs. Maybe even some of the ones who maintained the library when it existed. They say that the Nothics are twisted by arcane energy and cursed, corrupted over the centuries, transformed into those things.
It's a bummer.
I stepped through the door and went to open it, and she started calling, the girl. Not like she really was, the illusionary version, the one we saw at the door. Yeah. And then I realized there were ghosts coming from the ceiling, the walls. So I fell back. The Nothics came down the stairs. It all happened very quickly. She told me to follow her, and I did. I usually know better. I'm a pretty good judge of character, actually, for a dog, but...
Yeah. Well...
At approximately what age does one begin to become a Nothic?
You'd probably have to ask the Nothics. That's not a me question, Professor.
Yes, of course. Add it to the list.
To the list of questions you're going to ask a Nothic when you meet them?
Oh, did you get better? He's like looking at Lux. You look a lot younger. You must be all right.
No, I just, I can do that.
Oh.
Like she shifts her hair a little bit.
Okay. Well, yeah. So that is permanent unless we fix it. So we should fix it.
Yeah. I would really appreciate that. So would Doc.
So, both of you. Oh, hi. Hey.
Yeah, but do Lux first because she's older and actually rescued you.
Gosh, I love that dragon. So. Lux first, and then, so if I could only do one of you, let's say hypothetically.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Do Lux.
No, I'm just kidding. Years. I got both. That was a joke. That was a dog joke. Laughing is a little bit disorienting when I'm just doing it in your
Not
head.
That funny, but thanks.
I don't have a very good sense of humor.
I would have went like a dog years joke. Like there's something there. I don't know what it is.
But... We can workshop that maybe if you're around for a few days. Yeah, okay. Let me try. I haven't done this in a long time. And so he walks up to you, Lux, and is walks around you a little bit, and he's kind of sniffing, and he starts to scratch at the earth a little bit, and this glowing kind of radiance just begins to emanate up around him, and he sort of just walks in a circle around you, and I think that he probably slurps your hand, and he casts Greater Restoration.
Okay. Great.
And then I think that he trots over to you as well, Doc, and does exactly the same thing. He walks around you a few times. He's scraping at the deck of the ship a little bit. He does this sort of weird gesture with his head, and then he sort of licks your hand, and you feel the years kind of melting off of you, your strength coming back a little bit, your joints hurt less, your back feels good. Yeah.
Right. I don't randomly wake up with a crink in my neck that from sleeping in the wrong position.
Yeah.
And
I was crying about it 2 weeks ago, but I definitely pulled a nerve in my back and have not been right for weeks now. And I'm God, I'm old. I hate it. And so, he casts Greater Restoration on the pair of you, and is just he plops himself down and is gosh, you guys, you got a lot of stuff in here. This is something.
Thanks. Yeah. Do you, can we I don't know, what do you eat something? Do you like something? Can we get you something?
I mean, yeah, I eat things. I mean, I've been eating here. You don't have to get me anything, but sure. I mean, I'm not a vegetarian or anything. I don't know if that...
We have, cheese, right?
Oh, God, I love cheese. We don't get a lot of cheese.
Yes. We do have some cheeses that I would certainly be willing to share with our esteemed guest. Yes. Well, 1 moment, please. I will return.
Thank you.
The cheese.
And I think that he's just sitting there, and old Ben is wow, is that a moon dog? This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes, Zabar, this is Ben.
By the twin moons of Cerealia, I've never met a moon dog before. I think he like walks right up to him, puts his hand down, and I think it's this moment where
talk to you right in your head.
The dog like puts his paw up and they shake and they're like just stare at each other quietly for a time.
Can I hear that? What does their conversation sound like? Like, are they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think that it's probably like, yeah, hey, I'm a moon dog. Wow! This is really something. I mean, I've not seen a lot of things. I've seen ghosts and Sahagwin and kobolds. I've seen oceans, old books. I met a talking plant once. I hated that one, not the one in here. Can he hear us right now? No. I'm in your head. We're inside your brain. What about the rest of them? No, they can't hear you either. Well, they're all right. Like, thanks for making them younger. They don't realize how horrible it is to get old. I'm all bent over.
Cheese. I have cheese. I have brought cheese. And I think Reg's like, he like holds out like a piece of cheese, and he like has that moment where he's like, do I hand feed the dog the cheese, or do I like drop it on the ground, or like what's the protocol here?
Get a plate, man. Get a plate.
Plate it.
Duck's gonna run and grab a plate.
Okay, yeah, because I don't think he knows.
I love this social.
I have to like think of this moment. My mom has this thing that she does with my grandma's dog, and every time she uses cheese in anything, and anytime there's a dog around, she goes, "Peaches, you want peaches?" That's all that I can think.
It's a very specific interaction.
Yeah, and it's happening right now.
So you plate up some cheese, and he like gobbles it up like quite greedily and quite happily. And I think that he's just like, this is really nice. I can't actually believe I'm seeing one of these things. It's really something to see. Anyway,
I meant to ask you a question on the way here, but we were interrupted by the others.
Teenagers.
Yes, they can be a challenge at times, but the youth is our future, and in that way, we come to deal with them. My question is, do you have an official role within Bridge? Do you have a formal responsibility?
Really, no. Look, we were here, not me, the dogs before me, when they built this place. And so I guess some of us have just kind of always been here. I was born here. We try to, we have talents that the people don't, so we try to keep it safe. Keep an eye out, especially for the things in the other side. Make sure nothing comes through. Help them. Work with the horses. I know I said I couldn't talk to them. I can't talk to them when they're far away. I have to be close, and then I could kind of talk to them like you, but it's different. There's no title, though, no.
You're sort of guard dog, yes, some sort of protector for...
I guess.
Too simple.
Yeah, I guess.
It is a lovely thing to do to protect. My question, quite frankly, is I'm not the most perceptive at times, nor the most intuitive, but I did get the sense that our friend Martin would stand, and I think Reginald's trying to kind of like look at the others so that they're aware of this. There's some conversation that he may lose some rank or privilege for bringing us here. Is that possible?
Marty is in charge, but she's not... Well, not everybody agrees with everything that she thinks all the time. There's a bit of tension lately, and...
Is someone being oppressed?
I don't think so. I don't think it's a matter of oppression, though. No. I think it's just a conflict of interests. She's cautious, maybe too much. Some of the others here, the young most often, they tire of being holed up, staying secret and hidden. So there's some crosstalk. What that's got to do with Martin, I just mean that she doesn't have absolute autonomous authority over everything here. She's the leader. People defer to her judgment. And if she puts her foot down, then generally what she says goes. But she doesn't have final say on everything.
I believe I understand. Friends, I do not know that you've had much time to think about this, but that does trouble me greatly. The notion that someone would pay for something that a position we've put them in.
Look,
I do not know what sort of recourse we might have, other than...
Come with us.
Martin and Matty are related, right?
Yeah, she is his nephew, right? Or she is his aunt. He is her nephew. Yeah.
Taylor
Didn't we also hear somebody talking to Matty in a voice that, I don't know, of like, this is a bad idea or something? Didn't you hear that as well?
Yeah.
Can we find a builder and get an add-on for the Dragonfly?
Yeah, we need an expansion.
Need some apartments attached to it.
She's gonna be pulling a trailer through space, you know what I mean? It's like a camper on the back. It's got an airstream full of NPCs.
The apparatus.
God, Lux's Ark. That needs to be the name of the show.
I think that Zabar is just like, listen, at the end of the day, there are people here who want to go out into the world, whatever that is. It's easy for them to think that because they've never been anywhere else. And I can't help but think that your coming is gonna increase those ideas and that sentiment. So when it comes to Martin, well, he might be a bit of a lightning rod. The riders, for the most part, police themselves, but there are some there who would like to take him down as a, well, as a peg taken out from underneath my tea.
A tactical choice, certainly. What do you all think? What?
Zabar, I was wondering, you say that Mati is maybe, some people would say she's sort of too cautious. And at the same time, she does want to preserve some information and sounds like share that information. But don't those two things contradict one another?
They do.
To hold up here and collect and gather information that shouldn't be held by one source. Do you know you are her confidant, you don't have to share with us, but does she just plan to stay here forever?
I can sense things about people. It's a thing that we can do. And I know that you're all... Well, look, I know you came back for me. And part of me understands that maybe it was just so I could make sure that, well, you didn't stay old. But I don't really think that's why you did it.
It is not.
I don't know how much any of you have ever heard of Fred Cynic, but he had an idea to take what was supposed to be destroyed in the attack on the library and spread it across the stars. And Mati wants that But she fears that the people here would be put in too much danger if she were to step up and do it. If I were being perfectly candid with you, I think she's looking for people exactly like you. I don't think that she realizes it. She might now that you're here. But I've wondered for years if someday somebody would stumble into us that was looking for more than old relics and lost magic.
I certainly understand her hesitation that if you make a move to, distribute this information and it fails, then that was all for naught. So I certainly understand her hesitation.
You see what their life is here? It's good, but we have no ships, we have no soldiers, we have no way to travel far and wide across the realms. I mean, that's the truth of it. We can't all go together. We can't all just pick up and leave. But with the horses and the ethereal, some could go very far if they chose. And that seems to be the heart of the conflict. There are some, especially the young amongst the riders, who want to range out and see what else they can find to expand our horizons, to broaden the connections.
I understand. The conflict of whether to stay or go is one as old as time, and is not one that has an easy answer. Each of us that you're looking at here, at some point in the last year, had to make just such a decision. And speaking for myself, it is a tension that grows, with pros and cons on either side. However, if you are ever to meet a group of people who are in favor of exploring, of the potential and the wonders of space, it would be this group of people. And perhaps with Marti being in the position that she is in, we could avail her and perhaps others in the city of some of the gifts we have, the technology, the information, or perhaps just the spark of wonder of seeing this thing that we've been gifted with. I remember when I was a child, my mother and father took me to see the first spaceship I had ever seen, the first vessel that could move between realms. I was quite young at the time, but it stuck with me. And I think something like that would have an incredible impact on this community and the young within them. Yes, it could be destabilizing, but that tends to be a bit of our MO.
I think he's like, every person who was born here and grew up in these halls has seen the paintings that you saw. They've seen this ship before, in ancient oil on ancient canvas. To see it here real, no matter what your intentions, that will leave an impact on them. I think that she trusts you a great deal, especially after getting me back. She's just afraid. Responsibility breeds fear. The best leaders can shirk it off, make the choices they have to, but a lot of people count on her.
Seems we have a lot to think about.
Well, I hope you ladies feel better. Sorry about the joking there. Dog sense of humor and everything.
It was great. No, and thank you. I feel much better.
It's good.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you want the rest of the cheese?
Yes. So good.
Yeah, you should take it.
Yes. Make you.
We'll put it in a doggy bag.
You've no idea.
I didn't realize you were saying something.
Yeah, we were getting there.
Yeah, sorry.
So I think he takes the doggy bag in his teeth.
I will now remove exotic cheeses.
I love Grace giving away Troy's stuff. That's my favorite part. That's my favorite. Troy just comes to play with us so we can all get rid of his equipment.
Later. Yeah. Yeah, feel free. Troy just gives this beautiful monologue about like change and seeing a ship, and I'm like, all right, I should figure out how to get rid of his cheese.
I think once Zabar leaves, I think at a certain point, Reginald would turn to Ray and just be like, what, you didn't want me to give away the Pearl of Power, the Ion Stone, the Clockwork Amulet?
You could have given him do you want me to give him the Ring of Spectral? We could. Oh, you're being sarcastic. Oh.
Yes.
I'm sure they got yak cheese in there.
Yeah, they probably have cheese in Bridge.
Yeah. That's what he was saying. Like, it's been so long since I've had anything but yak cheese. Oh my God. This is amazing.
I think they call it that because it makes you yak. I think if Zabar's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think what like Ray is the most. I think she would say like. I think it's Matty's decision whether or not she's going to let people go or not. She has she has to figure out if it's worth the risk. My biggest concern. I'm starting to say this now. I don't know. I guess this is like my concern this whole time has been about what we have been tasked to do and with the information that we are being tasked to get, where that information then gets stored and like what is the purpose of this information being gathered and if it's in direct contradiction to Matisse philosophy. So Ray would like raise those points as like, I guess if I'm worried about, Matisse finding out that we work for somebody who opposes her philosophy and also our benefactor finding out that we have supported a group that isn't and potentially help them start explore space if they are in direct contradiction to what our boss has told us to do.
Well, I think that we should encourage exploration. I think that what we have been tasked to do is one thing, but what we are doing is, doing what they used to do and finding information and, sailing the stars. And I think that we should encourage that wherever we go, regardless of what happens.
Regardless of what happens?
Yeah.
What if we cause war and conflict ourselves? What if we cause oppression by creating a spark that...
Well, I think we need to talk to Mati and because fear is toxic and it's just going to turn it into a war. It's going to turn it into a civil war. And I think that Mati needs maybe to hear from a group of young adventurers that this is a good thing to explore and that, keeping all of this information to herself doesn't help the world, the universe. I don't know. I think we should talk to her, though.
It's not like we can't say that we haven't been in danger as a result of doing this, though. I get why she's...
Oh, no. And there's absolute reason to be fearful. But...
Certainly Matisse' fear is that if they let these people who want to go explore leave, and somebody like... what's the guy from the... Where's the guy we just saw? Occam.
Occam?
Yeah.
If somebody like Occam comes and rains down terror on the bridge... pretty catastrophic for all of them.
No.
I was raised in a society and in a family that always told me information is power. Information is power that one must wield responsibly, but it nevertheless gives you choices and options. And should they choose as a society to remain here, then that is their choice. But to not have a choice, that is... Look, I'm 28 years old. I can only choose to be 28 years old at this moment.
Yeah.
Is that then really a choice? I think not. At this point, the people here remain here only because that is their only option. To give them that option could introduce conflict, yes, but it also introduces possibility and free will. Both of which are things that, at least I, value immensely.
Oh. I think that's what we stand for, right?
But we can't pretend that those choices don't potentially hurt other people who didn't make that choice, who made a different choice, right? Like, it's not easy.
Absolutely. You're right.
Just because people leave doesn't mean they have to give away where they came from.
I am sensitive to what Lux said, which is, what if the next ship that arrives has much more foul intentions?
That's why I said he shouldn't have brought us here in the first place, but, you know, I got jumped on for saying that. It's fine.
Yes.
I mean, clearly it's a difficult situation. But life is hard. Life out here is dangerous. But there should be a choice. And maybe there needs to be rules in place for the people who decide to leave. I don't know. I mean, we're not the leader of this place. Like,
yeah.
You know.
None of this is really up to us. We can just go offer our experience and whatever else.
We could leave, yes. That is our choice. We absolutely could. And I should say, to the point of our mission and our patron, I don't know how to refer to her. I do not see her here. We have not heard from her in many, many attending. I believe that we have the ability to choose whatever it is we wish. For now.
Yeah, for now. That might be an invoice later.
Yeah, I think I'd rather do what we feel is right and then figure out the cost later.
Yeah.
Rhea, what do you believe is the worst possible outcome at this point?
Oh, we get killed by we are threatened or put in jail when we return is probably, the worst outcome. Yeah. And then not be able to home. Home?
Have
you could.
you
It's a little bit
about
like
going
starting
back
out a
early?
road trip and then going back an hour later, but you certainly could.
What exactly you're supposed to do. Could you make contact with this strange benefactor? All I know is that A lot of you have given me a second chance. And not just me.
Yeah.
All those poor kobolds that we left back in Moroto. The rest of Australia. You saved that poor person from, well, what sounded like a fish tank.
I mean,
even the old
we were trusted to go
plant.
out and do this on our own in space, just kind of doing whatever.
I don't know what the right thing to do here is, but
it is quite remarkable
I think
that we were given what appears
you're all
to
a
be
pretty good judgment so far.
Yeah.
And just turned out to the world. I mean, when I entered the contest, I had never imagined that this would be the outcome. But to get on the ship.
It's extraordinarily rare.
You had to win a contest?
Yes. Did you...
what?
Did you not?
No.
No. What kind of contest?
I'm sorry. Of course, the cryptography contest. Yes, the one listed in the chart. No, in the Articles of Wonder.
You think I did a cryptography test?
You think I did a cryptography test?
Oh no, of course not. No offense, of course. That is not your interest.
No, that's why I asked.
Yeah.
I just presumed that there were ancillary contests in your particular specialties. For example, Lux with piloting a ship and doing evasive maneuvers, that there would be some form of thing. Doc creating mechanized creatures and doing repairs. And Rhea, some form of...
being religious. Some form of turtle test.
I do not know. Clearly, there's much about each other that we have not learned. We just learned that you, Lux,
some
have
form
the
of turtle
ability to change your form. That you are, in fact, a changeling.
Yeah.
Right, you knew that about me, I think is what he's saying. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, fair enough. No,
I don't want to give you the wrong impression, Lux. It's fine. You can be whoever you need to be.
Well,
but, I certainly was a bit surprised when you just came walking out wearing, a different human face.
I was making a point, but ow.
It's a little jarring. But no, it's fine. It's just
and I haven't sparked you proving a point. I really
sorry. Can we circle back to this contest? You had to win the contest to get here?
There was a cryptography and cipher contest that was listed in the back pages of the Articles of Wonder, which is one of the great periodicals that is shared widely amongst the many realms and planets from which I come. I, of course, had an interest and saw it as an opportunity to do something fun and exciting. I had barely noticed that the prize of the contest was a contract aboard the ship and a mission, but I simply did it for fun. And
the more that winning a contest doesn't mean you have to sign a contract, right? Like, did you?
No. I'm quite aware. Okay. I do have free will, as I said. I completed, I solved all of the puzzles that were there in what I thought was quite rapid time, and I then had to determine whether I should formally enter and consider a sort of, how would you say, a break from academia. And I ultimately determined, through consultation with myself and others, that would be wise. And so I entered the contest. I won, it seems, and then met Yvonne and was invited to come aboard the ship. And I guess I presumed that a similar story existed for you.
That would make sense.
I feel a bit like I won a contest, but much less formal.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought perhaps
maybe she kind of saw me, but I didn't have to do any sort of test. She just sort of asked.
I mean, I kind of dragged Doc along, but got skills, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna want to bring Doc along.
Hey, you know anybody? And Lex was like, "Yeah, I actually do.
I do."
Well, I'm certainly glad to be here. I'm glad to be with all of you.
My parents were very eager to get me out there, on my own. They're doing their thing, so.
Wanted some peace and quiet?
No, they totally missed me a lot.
That does remind me. Has anyone communicated with anyone outside of the ship?
No.
No.
I'm due to write a letter to my parents. Perhaps that is something I will do on our next long haul. And as to the idea of contacting Yavanna, goodness, that would be something.
I think that when Yavanna wants to talk to us, she can talk to us. I think, like I said, she trusts us to do just this in general. We've done a lot so far. I think that we are pretty good judges of character, and
yeah, and if we, don't catalog every single thing because the people don't want to be cataloged, then, she's none the wiser.
That's fine.
Sounds to me like you all have been given a lot of leeway. It's like what I used to said. Well, his name was actually Maggot, but I'm just going to call him Young Ben for the sake of recounting this story. When I used to send Young Ben to go pick up goods for me at the market, I gave him the money to buy what was necessary. And he had an idea of the kind of things we needed at the store, but he was able to make his own decisions. I trusted him because he'd been doing it for years. Even though his name was Young Ben, it's a bit of a misnomer. It was actually in his 60s. So he would go and purchase things, and he could make his own decisions. That's what I'm trying to say. I trusted him as a leader to be the person who knew how to make the right decisions. I wasn't at the market. He was. It sounds to me like you all are at market day. It's a bad analogy, maybe.
And we are young Ben or old Ben?
No, you're the young Bens, all of you. You're maggots. You're maggots.
We are the maggots in this situation.
I see what you're saying, that we're at the market, but I kind of feel like we're at the market and we don't know what store we work for or what the market is or, what any of the stuff that they sell,
Or even where the market is. We just sort of heading.
So it's a good analogy, but to me, it feels like we have no rules. And yet I do also feel like I'm breaking the rules right now. And that's just where my head is at. So I think you're all right. I think you're all right. And you're also right about what choice we should make, which is that we probably should give them the information and let them make whatever choice they're going to make. I do just worry about what happens after.
Yeah, maybe we should just, plan on coming back and, visiting in a little bit and making sure everything's okay.
See what has grown amidst the seeds we have planted.
Yeah.
I don't know where your path takes you. I'll be with you wherever you want to go. But it could sometimes feel good to have someplace you could come back to. Someplace where you're welcome. And people look forward to seeing you. It's a nice feeling.
I really like that mushroom wine, too. I could have more of that.
They have cool mushroom arrows, too.
I think when Ben says that, Rhea starts crying.
Oh, no!
And is not going to explain why. So he's just going to, run out of the room, I think.
I do think that, Reg also right after that would be like, if we were to do that, Is it possible we could choose a planet with a more broad selection of cheeses and meats?
Well, I think the universe is the market, and we're stopping at every shop we can and getting whatever we want. But specifically, one thing.
Cheese.
Which is?
and no oppression.
Well,
and orbs.
2 things.
And orbs and information. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe like 4 things.
And people
Yeah.
and don't want to be
people to come on the
Colorful
But not
array.
like
So
the
5
slavery
so 5
kind.
things.
No,
like regular people
people who
assumption.
want to come
Right,
with
because
us.
of C item 2, no oppression. Yeah.
Yeah,
So 5.
like the employees of the market that don't want to work in the market.
it's like
Rhea,
child
like through
play.
tears, like keeps up, like, but not like the slavery. Because she's gone.
Rhea, are you okay?
Yeah, I think I don't know if any I think Rhea like runs to her room, like there's only like 2 rooms, like hops on like one of the bed's hammocky things and like pulls out I think like the pieces of paper that are like for pamphlets, and I think like as the camera like moves over, it's like she's like writing a letter to her parents, but like you see on the pamphlets, it's like a bunch of the same letter, like over like she's clearly been like trying to like write and
words,
restart
right?
over and over again.
Yeah.
Or like writing them but then like not doing anything with them.
Gosh, you're gonna make me cry, Grace.
It's like it's hard.
It's not. Yeah. No, Melissa's 100% like got my number. It's not that hard.
Yes.
I think at this point, like, I also think like Reg, like seeing Rhea like run off and cry, then like has a moment where he's like looking between Doc and Lux as to like, I am not the one to. Lux.
Sure. Yeah, I can go. Yep.
I worry. I hope that she's okay.
I'm worried too. Okay.
I think Ray would probably like indicate that she just like needs some time with them.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
Lex would be like, I'll go check on her in like a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Time is one thing we do have now, that you are 20 years younger and you are 10, so this is good. Did we come to a decision? I'm not certain that we did. Talk to Matty and give up the goods?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
And, she'll do with that what she does, and we can try to make sure Martin doesn't get fired, I guess, for helping us.
Yes.
Even if I think, hopefully he doesn't just bring people back. I think I think this was kind of a one-time thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe he's just a really good judge of character, and I was too hard on him. I don't know.
Or perhaps he's done this many, many times before, and we just simply are not being told. I do not know. Well then, a conversation with Mati, and then we can see what is possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you guys want to rest a little bit? Are we taking like a long rest? Everybody want to kind of regroup? You going to sleep?
Yeah.
Get your hit points, get your spells and stuff back. I'll say, I think there's a moment, Doc, like in the midst of like this afternoon where you're like about to like go there. You slept already probably a bit, or maybe you didn't. You've been working on stuff. You're always busy. But I think there's like at some point where you're like going about your business on the ship and you turn around and Sharp Jumper is like standing right in front of you. And he's very short. And he's like, excuse me. I wanted to ask if it was okay. And I think he like lifts up his hands, and they're all like shiny and glistening, and he's like, I know with the poison, I can't really touch anybody, but I wanted to see if it would be okay if it might hurt Waffle.
You want to touch Waffle?
I mean, not Well, it's just, it sounds weird when you say it like that, but I just don't. I don't have anybody that I can hug, and I feel kind of lonely. I used to live with a bunch of my people in a big swamp, and then they took me and they locked me in this glass box. And he's so cute. I always wanted a dog. Right? I know he's not a dog. He's a really cute little dragonfly. Just sometimes it'd be nice to have somebody I could hug too.
I wonder if we could like get you an outfit. What we should really do is find where you're from and get you home. But yeah, I don't know. Waffle, do you want to? I think Waffle's gonna kind of like look at her and be like, oh, and flutter down and like. He's skeptical, but he's going for it. It's not gonna hurt him, right? He's a mechanical dragon.
I think that he's asking you, like he doesn't know, you know. So he has contact poison on his skin, you know. Like he doesn't know, like he doesn't know if he's allowed to touch Waffle or if Waffle's like immune to poison or what the story is.
He is immune to poison, so I think Doc knows that. So but she kind of like checks with Waffle if he like wants a hug. It's like willing to hug this guy, and so he kind of, shrugs and flies down, and he doesn't really have arms, right? So he can. I think the wings can kind of like wrap a little bit, and they do that like very like broad hug, like
yeah. This is a little uncomfortable, and I think he like pats Waffle on the back, and he's like, I know you're kind of your own person. I didn't mean to. Thanks. If you ever want to play any games, I like games. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't know what kind of games Waffle will play. Do they play fetch? That feels very reductive. I feel like I've just insulted Waffle asking if he plays fetch. Sharp Jumper is pretty
smart.
Yeah.
Buddy, I was thinking like ping pong.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
we have room for a ping pong table.
Yeah, I think he like. I think that like Sharp Jumper is a little dense. He's a little frog guy. He's very poisonous. He's really sad and lonely.
Waffle's got a -3 intelligence. I'm probably ascribing greater intelligence than he actually has, but No,
that's entirely appropriate. But I think that Sharp Jumper is like so happy to have a friend to play with that he's just like he's like. Ping pong? Yeah, okay. And I think that like he's probably pretty bad at it, but he just will like play. He's very happy, And so yeah, okay, cool. I'm sorry. I've been thinking about that for a while.
Oh.
Every once in a while, Rhea would like on days when we're not adventuring, Rhea would definitely like prepare purify food and drink so that Sharp Jumper could like make a meal and then we could actually eat it. I feel like people probably are still nervous to eat it, but try.
Yeah. I also think Doc's gonna like ask the vet and be like, "Can Jeffrey play with a Shark Jumper?"
Oh yeah, totally. Jeffrey. I think the door just closes. I think Sharp Jumper turns looking back at you, this slightly terrified look on his face as the door closes. And with that, you all are able to like sleep and rest and do whatever you want. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this conversation. But yeah, what's the move here? You want to go talk to Mati?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think the scene fades to black, and we probably open back up with like the four of you sitting in her room, as it were. There's a couple of these almost like couches, these bigger sort of comfortable chairs, cushioning in them. And she's sitting. She'll like make you tea. There's food presented to all of you. Zabar is like sleeping, I think, in his bed over in the corner of the room. the big like kind of portraits that have been like kind of refurbished with the magic of like I don't remember which one you did it. If it was Doc or Rhea, it was Rhea. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Both of us.
Yeah, it was. Monty is like sitting here and it's just like I really can't thank the lot of you enough. He's an old friend. She like gestures back at the dog, and she's like, and well, I count on him for more than I would admit to most around here. Really, you did much. And the sap, it will be very valuable to us.
Yes, before I forget, Rhea, are you familiar with how to use the sap? Is that something that they need? Are you, Mati, familiar? I just wanted to make sure that the information is...
I think Rhea knew how to use it, but just couldn't prepare it. It was going to take somebody, but like Rhea could instruct somebody how to prepare it if they had like the practical know-how, right?
I think like we talked about like an alchemy kit probably that they knew how to use. I don't know. Rhea doesn't know how to use that, so
I think it's a situation of like Reginald started opening his mouth almost to ask like, can you tell us how to use it, so that but then suddenly realizes that he probably shouldn't reveal that Rhea has additional doses of it. Mm-hmm. So he's just kind of walking his way back over to, are you sure you know how to use this? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think Monty is like, it's been a long time since I've prepared any, but I'm certain that we'll be able to get it done. We have very good apothecaries here.
Good.
Yeah.
I really, I don't know how to thank the lot of you. I put you in a very difficult position. I had hoped that if you were willing to journey in and retrieve this for me, we might be able to establish some trust. And it puts you in danger, grave danger, as well as my old friend here. So I'm just grateful that, due to your efforts, that it was able to be resolved.
We've been in grave danger a few times, so, been there, done that. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it did what it was supposed to do, which was build trust between us, so.
Yeah.
Well, for whatever it's worth, I'm not sure how long you plan on staying, but you're welcome here for as long as you like. The people are very enamored with you. It's rare that we ever have any visitors, and certainly none have ever seen anything like your vessel.
Yes, we wanted to speak with you about that. We do have other places that we are meant to go, and time is of the essence for us, but we also do not mean to pass up this moment that seems important culturally. And to that effect, we were wanting to have a conversation about what sort of information could be left that might assist in, should you choose it, restoring flight to Bridge.
That's a very big question. Are you talking about leaving us with knowledge, schematics of your vessel or others like it? Is that what you mean, or am I misinterpreting?
I think like Reg is like briefly checking around just in case we didn't.
I guess the thing we should have thought was like, what do we actually like? I think we thought about.
I'm imagining we had a conversation about that, but maybe we didn't.
I would feel like we would as well, but maybe. Like, what do we actually have to leave? How long would it take for like them to like use the orb to transcribe information so that they have it? I think these are the type of questions that like we probably talked about.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys like would have.
Have we disclosed that we have orbs to Mati? I don't remember this.
Not yet.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I feel like we would maybe not disclose that.
Yeah, that's right. I meant like, yeah, you're right.
Us transcribed from the orbs information.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
but I do think like within the bounds of that would be like about the engine and about the ship.
And so I think that she's just like, we're very slim on certain resources, certainly, but I would be willing to take whatever information you're willing to leave. To that matter, I'd be willing to share some of what I have here. I hesitate to say all of it, because I want to be authentic, and while we trust one another, I'm fearful of some of what's been collected.
I mean, I guess the question is, what information do you have? Because you'd be willing to share, because part of this whole agreement, right, was that we would not report about anything that happened here. So, yeah, I guess Ray is like trying to dive into about like what type of information she's willing to share with us.
Right, and so I think that like she like sighs a little bit. She's looking over the lot of you and is like, I have one of the original 7 orbs that was taken by Fred at the fall of the library. It's not... Well, I don't know that you would even know per se, but they're all different. They contain different information about different things. This one is almost like an indices, a catalog of others, of other orbs, other information, what was held in them, where they were stored in the facility, which is not of incredible use to us now, but nonetheless, my family has spent many generations extrapolating what they can from it. Have you ever heard of a crystal sphere? She says the orbs were created as such because of the representation, the physicality of them. According to what I've understood, I'm more than happy to let you see what I have, to go through it yourselves. You might have better minds than me for unraveling all of this. But everything out there, and she just like kind of gestures up at the roof, like, she's like, the Aether Station, the Decidium Spiral, all the nearby worlds. Well, I can't be sure how far you come from, but we're within. And I think she like looks around and kind of like reaching down, like probably would lift up like a roundish looking fungi, and she's like, we are within what were dubbed these crystal spheres. All of these worlds, everything nearby, it's contained within one of these. To escape them, one cannot merely punch out of the side. There are conduits, pathways, wormholes, portals, gateways, all manner of means to exit. But according to the information that I've been able to get from Fred's orb, this is one of possibly countless, hundreds, thousands, I can't be sure. There were certainly that many cataloged in the library. There are whole other spheres out there with worlds that have never heard of the library, Cerelia, Malpieti, none of these places. She's like, what I know as well is that there are other portals near here in the spiral. The magic, the weaponry that they use to destroy the library, it ripped things open, not just to the ethereal plane, to others, some harder to gauge, but there are notes from my great-great-grandmother about riders taking the horses far from bridge to the other side of the spiral, portals there to shadowy realms that mirror our own, not like the ethereal, darker yet. And there was word still even of a vast gateway on the surface of the planet, a means by which they utilize to travel from within this crystal sphere to the others, to at least one other. I can't be sure how it operates. There's an entire orb just dedicated to that, but the one that I have references it, which means I know it's there. I have some idea what it does. She's like, I don't know how useful any of this is to you at all. It's been a decade at least since I stepped through the portal, since I tried to harvest the sap myself and travel to the library. I don't know what else was down there, but it's possible there's more that's been left behind. Zabar said there was some woman there, a creature, a being.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He says a lamia. I've not heard of such things, but according to him, they're known for their manipulations. It's certainly possible that she might have had her own collection of flotsam, jetsam, refuse, kind of a salvage. I don't know if any of this is useful to any of you at all, but...
we're certainly interested in all that, we're like explorers and stuff, and that's really cool for like us to hear.
I think Reg is trying very hard to hold it together.
Yeah. Yeah, if we were willing to, I think like Lux like nods to the professor, like if we would be willing to give you some of like our information, like for our ships, would you be willing to give us some information like this index, like sort of some of this information?
I can't let you fly away with the orb, but...
No, I just mean like,
I could certainly let you parse what you can from it, discern what you might from the notes that I have.
Is there a way to copy information from the orbs that we would know about, or?
Yeah, that's a great question, Doc. I think that they're
Control-C, Control-V, I think.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah, old Ben.
Can we do a download?
I think that there was once that the orbs could be copied and replicated, but that this is a thing lost to time, right? And certainly probably a riddle that Doc has been trying to unpuzzle in her mind, I would imagine, right?
Mm-hmm.
It also sounds like if there's orbs specifically dedicated, that's maybe a organization thing, kind of like books, but also maybe just the space it would fill up in an orb as well. It's too much. So
yeah, I think she would offer up at that if Ray is saying anything like that out loud. I think she would be
yeah, sure.
It did seem like that's the case. They were like books, though far more vast and comprehensive, easier to dig through and understand, retain, less vulnerable to the kind of damage the paper and leather might be. Certainly, it's an arcane method of storage, but they seem to be specialized by the understanding that I have. I've not seen others. I couldn't know. They say that some amongst them, and she's shrugs, shaking her head, it's an old habit, but the orb says that there were some that were... It suggests that perhaps they had their own sentience, measure of consciousness, awareness.
The orbs.
Some of them, yes.
Fascinating.
Well, that's new. Yeah.
As the research advanced, as the facility grew, as the mages and the wizards and the sorcerers gathered, they got better and better at what they did. She says, it would only make sense. Chroniclers, lore keepers, sages, librarians, they age and they die. Even the longest lived of us will eventually pass on. If you could put the sage in the orb with the knowledge to endure throughout time, why wouldn't you?
I guess as long as the sage is
Yeah, I could think of like a few reasons.
Yeah.
She is like,
yeah.
Well, certainly.
Yeah.
I've never seen one, but we could imagine any great number of tragedies to befall those that might have worked with these things closely.
This is... forgive me for a rather random question.
This could be anything.
Yeah.
What is 2 + 2 + 1? No. Have you ever heard of the Bards of the Blossom?
Have? Yes.
Have they ever occasion to visit here?
Not in my living years. Once, perhaps. There may be some notes that somebody kept from a time before, but I have not met one in my life, no.
It is nothing. It's simply a ghost we are chasing, perhaps.
So you said you have all this information that you've gleaned from the orb that you'd be willing to share. Could I mean, like, I don't have a photographic memory because it's not really a thing, but I am pretty smart, so maybe I could look at it.
Memory is a thing, yes.
I think
like memory is a thing, but a photographic memory isn't a thing. But
yeah. Well, we also do have old Ben, who really likes to like copy manuscripts and stuff.
We could like set up like a task force.
He would love
a bunch of us.
He would love that.
Yes, old Ben is lovely with the written word and also is incredibly verbose and finds it... he will have a lot to say, I think.
Quite charming.
Reg will kind of maybe try to make an eye toward Lux of...
I think Lux like nods a little bit, like,
Just like, yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, my T just would say, there's a bit of a library. I would be more than willing to sit you down in it and let you dig through.
Yeah.
What would be like a useful, like, I'm just wondering in terms of like, I mean, team, I don't know that we have necessarily anywhere where we need to get to next, but
do you think I have a notion, but we need to discuss that as a group.
Sure. But to sparse through some of this information, you think it would take us a day, days, weeks?
I think she like chuckles a little bit and is like, why don't we just take a short walk? And so I think that like she would like stand up and like gesture for you all to follow. And so she heads out the hallway, right? Like Bridge itself is like these cavern systems, right? It's kind of like a circular hub that's like the town square almost with these spokes leading off of it, you know? So she heads out the hallway, and for the first time since you've like been down here to her room these many times, instead of like turning left to go back to the central hub, she turns right. She takes you further down this hall that her room is off. And at the end of the hall, you just see like this stone door, and it wouldn't be locked. She like reaches down, just kind of like pushing the door open. It grinds a little bit, and like you step into this room, and I think that she murmurs like a low word, like shidduch, and like light, like these like globes of like pure white light like emanate around the ceiling. And you guys look all around you. It's not the biggest room that you've ever been in, right? It's probably like 30 by 30, thereabouts. But there's almost like cubby type shelves on all the walls. These smaller kind of like compartments on shelves that go like floor to ceiling. And they're filled with like scrolls and books, manuscripts, right? There's a couple of like large tables in the center of the room. You see like an ink pot, a handful of like quills in like a cup, right? A couple of like old mismatched like battered chairs, right? And she's just like, this is it. The orb's not in here, of course, but this is the recounted knowledge and history of the heirs of Fred Cynic and the people of Bridge. I'm more than willing to let you look through it for as long as you want. If there's anything here of value that you might find, anything that you want to copy, certainly if there's anything you want to leave us to add that's, well, as interesting as flight, there are people here who would want to hear it.
I think we could do that.
Absolutely.
I think she's
we would.
Go ahead.
I greatly appreciate this, and will certainly avail myself and ourselves of this library. But I still, before you leave, would love an answer to, I believe it was Rhea's question. How long do you think it would take for us to gather the most useful information from the orb?
Oh. A day, 2, 3. I mean, as I said, we have a great deal of interpretation already behind us. A lot of deciphering has been done on puzzling, riddling, sorting. You all seem very capable, intelligent. You've certainly seen more of the world than I have. So how quickly you could gather and parse through what's there, I wouldn't imagine it would take nearly so long.
No, I shouldn't. I do not mean to overly simplify a complex history with many layers of interpretation. This room could take years alone to deeply understand. Simply, I do not know. Ideating, so to say.
I should acknowledge to you while you're all here, I'm the leader of this place, though it's not by any type of formal election or decision. It merely is the position I was groomed for by my mother, and I've tried to do my best with it, but there are those here who want more, who feel that I'm too conservative, too scared, who want to spread out into the world. I don't know if that's right. I'm afraid that it's not. There is an imperative that's been handed down generation after generation after generation to gather the knowledge, gather the knowledge, gather the knowledge, to see it shared with the people of the stars. But the truth of the matter is that most of the people of the stars who have ever come near this place, they come here looking to take, looking to hurt, looking to exploit, and I have not had good experiences. You are the exception, not the rule. There are some here who live amongst us who were found, stragglers, refugees, explorers with good intentions. Not every person in Bridge was born here, but
Well,
I appreciate the candor.
and maybe giving them, this information about our vessel will, make them feel a little bit better.
It scares me.
I know. It should.
Yeah.
It's scary. But for some, the freedom to do things like travel the stars is to live. That's what it is for me.
I think as you guys are all standing here in this room at the end of the hall, the light kind of glimmering on these dusty old scrolls and books, the big heavy wooden table in the center of the room, I think you hear the sound of footsteps pounding down the hallway, and you hear a call, "My tea! My tea! My tea!" She turns looking out the hall, stepping out, what is it? What's happening? and you see like a figure come like racing up. It was the person who was talking to her the other day as you guys were about to head back into the portal. It was like, this is a terrible idea or whatever. They're wearing like armor that's kind of similar to what Martin was wearing when you met him. And they're just like, there's a ship in the spiral. They're slow.
Up.
They're moving slow. He like looks at you, like nods, like, and then I think like he just kind of looks back to her, like, I told you it was a mistake. They either led somebody else here or they've been followed, and either way it turns into the same thing.
Well, we'll take care of it.
You'll take care of it? What are you going to take care of?
Yeah.
If we brought it here, we will take care of it.
What does that mean?
If there is a ship that has followed us here.
It's not an if.
We will.
There is a ship. It is outside.
Okay, we will go take care of it.
We better go.
After we read the scrolls.
Do we still have a few days? I think Freya like says it jokingly, but it's like heading out the room towards the ship.
Yes.
I think you hear this guy like, you can't just let them leave. They could easily have brought these people here. This might be their backup. They've come here to infiltrate us, to send others after us.
You know, you should learn how to trust somebody at some point in your life.
Hey, buddy, we're on the same side. We're gonna go help. Do you know, is there a way that we could get out there without like alerting them to your location so that we can, is there like a back exit that we could sneak out of? Because we're gonna go save the day. You just like sit tight and be a bit of a chump.
We're gonna go save the day. I think he's just like looking at you with like pure incredulity, right? He's like, he's trying to like gather himself for like his clearly like mounting hostile retort, and Monty like steps in front of him, and like she just like looking over her shoulder back at him is like, last I checked, Frederick, I still make the choices until you get rid of me. And she's like, there is another way. Yes, tunnels, the other tunnels. They'll take you out through the bottom. It's the smaller of the entrances. But yes, we can show you.
Point us in the right direction. Let's go.
His name is Frederick. Sorry, does he have a resemblance to Mati and Martin?
No, not at all.
Okay. I imagine Fred is a popular name in these parts.
Yeah, gotta be. Can I make like a very quick cursory look over the scrolls to see if there's anything magical?
No, Reg, we gotta go.
Okay. So here's my question. You want?
You're like pulling.
Yes, you're like peering in. You're looking specifically for like magical stuff.
Yes.
As in,
yes,
like,
he is.
What do you think? Is it something enchanted or like spell books? I know this is 6 of one, half dozen of the other, but like I'm like breaking it down that tight.
If he could, oh boy. I think. Sorry, I'm just trying to think.
Broke it.
Would he have any reason? It feels like a gamble because he would assume that, like, he would not presume that there is a spell book in here. Mm-hmm. Why would he presume that there's a spell book in here? Mm-hmm. But if there's one that obviously looks like a spell book, then he's gonna like flip it open. But otherwise, he like knows that like scrolls are the thing that like tend to
be enchanted. Make an investigation check.
Oh boy,
I think that's the roll.
Just one moment, please, just a moment.
And then here's the part about the people coming to attack.
25. I think as you're like scanning over them, you see the kind of like frayed edges of the scrolls jutting out. You see a couple of like scroll cases, some that look like metal, wood, and like you realize like, God, it's gonna be so hard for me to even. But as you're looking, you see a rune on the binding of a book on one of the like highest shelves, and I think that you see like there's a red rune and a green rune and a silver rune etched underneath, and you recognize, like, in the white, like, crystalline kind of magic light that's emanating through this place, that's like powdered gemstone, not just like mere glitter. And are like, as you like think to like the components of things, and I think you realize, like, it's definitely a spell book.
Is Mati leaving, or is
she's
Mati
like standing
watching?
in the hallway? Yeah, she's not in here. She's like standing in the hallway with their back firmly to you, like dealing with Frederick, looking at Doc. They're like, Lux is like, hey, listen, buddy, you know. And there's like a couple things all happening at once.
As quickly as he possibly can,
with
Reginald
a dexterity of 0.
Yeah,
will write out borrowed by Professor Reginald Frybottom and the date, and place it in the position where the book was.
Thus, the library is born again as you like pull the book down and like put the note there.
I'm like, Reggie, we don't have time. He's like, oh, quickly write down. I'm like, we don't have time to. You don't write down to like the like, no, it's writing a take like a library,
an IOU.
An IOU. Incredible.
And so, like, as like you hear the footsteps moving down the hall, you hear Rhea like, Reggie, we don't have time. You know, you come like shuffling out of the door. They're all kind of like heading away. Frederick is kind of like following at the back, and Mati is just like talking to like Lux and Doc at the front. Like, I don't know who this could be. You said that you were being chased.
Probably Occam.
There's this one butt face. If it's him, then
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, we'll like lead him away, or we'll do what we have to. But yeah, if it's somebody else, then no harm, no foul. But
all right, be careful. I think she's like, I don't really have that many friends, and well, I'm a bit enamored with a lot of you, as she's like running through the town. And I think that like Frederick's kind of chasing after her. The like group of you like race through like the central kind of like square. You step through like the illusory wall, and at this point you see that there's like a dozen people here that are wearing like similar kind of armor. I think that you see like Martin, you see Randolph, you see Erica. They're all like here, and as he comes out, they like kind of turn like, Frederick, what do we do? And Mati like raises her hand as a lot of you come like walking up behind, and they're all sort of staring at you, and she's like, our new friends are going to go try to deal with it. And I think you see a few faces of this like dozen people like kind of like narrow their eyes at you. They're looking at you a bit suspiciously. There's like some muttering amongst each other, and she's like, this is not up for debate. I've made my decision. I trust them. They're leaving. I trust that's not going to be a problem with anyone here. And they all like kind of like, it's like this thing where they're all in front of you. They're like in between you and the ship, right? And like, I think Martin's like, of course not. And like turns and looks at the others. And a few of them seem like eager and step out of the way. But there's a clear divide happening in front of you right here. But they do ultimately like part, and a lot of you can get onto the ship. And so she's like kind of standing there lingering for a moment. And I think that like, she shows you, Lux, there's like another kind of like tunnel like going this way and down. There's like another way out that you could take.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
We'll be back.
Yeah, we gotta go.
So with that, you race onto the Dragonfly. Da-da-da!
You said the name of the thing?
Yeah. I did it. I said the name of the
back
thing.
of the ship up.
Back it up.
Okay. Any like initial preparations? Is there anything we need to make note of here?
Question.
Mm-hmm.
What was this was a long rest that we took, so we are in the next day.
Yep.
Okay, great. I will prepare my spells in the 2 minutes while we fly on out there.
Dope. Cool.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, I think that like as we get closer, never mind. Just kidding.
Okay. Never minding. Lux, are you going to pilot? You don't have to. There's a bunch of other people.
Yeah, no, I think that Lux is gonna want to fight in this one.
Okay, so as the four of you like come like racing into the ship, I think you see Jake is like standing there in the hallway, and he's like, "Oh, are we going?
We got a boot scoot, Jake. Come on, move it."
Yeah, you gotta fly the ship.
The bees are like, the bees are in like hyperdrive, and he's just like, huh? Okay. And like he gets down into the ship, the ramp like coming up. And I think like the rattling of the ping pong ball like stops as Sharp Jumper like catches it. Awesome, you had a ping pong ball in here too, you know? And so with that, the Dragonfly like lifts off the ground. This group of people from Bridge watching tensely as you begin to like the ship like kind of moves, pitches, and begins its slow journey out of like this back tube. And so like a few minutes pass in like the mostly darkness, the light like projecting out of the front of the ship.
Can we?
Lights. Yeah.
Sorry.
No problem.
While this is happening, the locate object or locate creature that is part of the apparatus that we have. I don't know if it's a crystal ball or what, but is it a? Does it require a separate spell, or it could be used with that?
Yeah, so you have two things. Like the crystal ball basically acts as like a conduit for you to cast these spells at a higher effect. Like the crystal ball tethers itself to the kind of the compass, the astral compass, and ultimately, where am I? I'm just looking for my handout. Here it is, the Mordekaiser compass.
Well, let me just like nip it in the bud to say, if it's possible that in the time that people are like loading up and flying, Reg would like to either locate whatever he can do from that, he doesn't know that spell, or scry, particularly on, I guess, Occam.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you would have to know locate object, locate creature, or locate plants and animals. If you know it, you can cast it in. If not, it can cast Find the Path by itself. And if not, you could just try to scry Occam.
Yeah, I think you would just try and scry Occam in the time while we're loading.
Okay.
To see if that's who it is.
Okay, cool. Remind me. Yep. What were you going to say, Grace?
No, I said nice.
Oh.
It's a good move.
A DC 17. I'm assuming it's wisdom, but I'm not certain.
Yeah, I'm looking up Scry real quick. You don't know him well.
No, in fact, I know him the least.
I know.
Yeah.
So it's second hand even.
Okay. But I don't know if others are around, or like Reg has this notion. I don't know if you all are busy.
Yana couldn't.
Oh.
Yeah. Yana certainly knows him the best.
Can Yana, as a paladin?
Well, okay, I could try. I really need to practice the Kevin accent. I need Kevin to come play again so I can remember his accent.
Yeah.
I'll try. Okay.
All right, I'll try.
Yeah.
I'll try.
I'll try.
Let's see what I can do.
Okay. So he knows them pretty familiar. He doesn't have any of those things. We're gonna have I gotta double check my Occam sheet. This is a bunch of D&D math.
Hold on, I didn't see it. I didn't have it open. Is it good or is it bad?
It's good for us.
It's good and bad. I think. Yeah, good for us, bad for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me just a moment here. I'm going to do a couple different things that are going to happen all at once. First of all, let's change to this here page with the map on it.
Hey.
Okay. That's the first thing that happened. Second of all, let's change to a cool map.
Cool map, bro.
As you all are like peering into the crystal ball, Jake is in like the helm, the crystal ball sitting in this pedestal. I think that like the astral compass from the Mordekaiser is kind of like humming, this arcane energy sort of like flowing through it. And Yana with their hand on the crystal ball is like conjuring up this image. What you see is this. You see this ship kind of like, you don't see these like random 2 tokens that are on it per se, you know?
Yeah.
But inside the like central room you see this figure wearing these kind of like robes with sort of too many rings on it. Their face looks like a little bit like thin and stretched, you know. And Yana is definitely like, well, that's him. And so like the few of you met Occam immediately recognize him, and I think he's speaking to somebody else who has this kind of rolling twirled mustache, waxed up, and then he has a very like thin kind of like goatee thing here. His head is shaved bald. He's got like 37 earrings in each ear, right? And I think that Occam is saying to him like, we know they're here somewhere. They must be. You know they are. Can't you conjure one of your servants to go scour these rocks hurtling through space even faster? We can fly and fly for days here, but I would very much like to find my lost Yana quickly. And so I think that the figure is like, yes, I can summon for you, Occam. But is perhaps not as reliable. Time is fleeting. Maybe if we do find what we're seeking, you will want summoning then. So you must make decision. Now or later. And I think they're like talking back and forth, and Occam is just like, I think that I am paying you a very exorbitant amount of gold, and that you will do what I have asked of you right now. And I think the man's like, yes, of course, Occam, you know best. How else have you acquired so many things? I will go. And he steps out of like the front, and I think that you're like watching Occam just kind of like, he goes and sits down at this desk and takes like a knife and starts like cutting at some piece of meat and eating.
Is there blood?
Yeah, a little blood, right? Blood runs across the plate a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
We continue on.
And so with that, the lot of you, the Dragonfly kind of floating through the tunnels, emerges out into space. The area around here, it's kind of wild as you're watching like the asteroids kind of hurtling past everything around you. Jake, fortunately, like a pretty good pilot. There's a point where like you're moving along the top of like these large heaving pieces of rock kind of rotating under you, and you could see in the distance the actual spiral itself, right? The like bits of stuff kind of ripping itself off of the planet even further back, this like kind of cacophony of debris between you and there. As the lot of you are all like kind of, where is everybody on the ship? Let me like square that up, I guess. You guys all
probably
go
up top.
Okay, you go into the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. Sorry, meant to mute.
No problem. With the lot of you on the deck of the ship up top. Yep, and you two. And so this guy is going to be driving. It's this little bro in there. With all of you up here on top of the ship, I think as you're kind of like moving through the asteroids, why don't we have all of you make perception checks?
I'm
roll
built for that.
A few dice. We're here to play D&D.
Hey, it was just two and a half hours then.
Yeah.
Dice
Hey,
on perception.
We're in space, right?
Yeah.
Favorite terrain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go favorite terrain.
Nice.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Ray, you spot it first. You see this ship. It's a good bit bigger than the Dragonfly. You see like the wood of it underneath. It's very much shaped like a traditional ship, like we might recognize, but it's got these wings. It's got like these trails kind of rolling off of the back of it. And you spot it like up in the distance, like above you, right? And I think then you spot the second thing. All of you see it. Just Rhea sees it first. In front, there appears to be something moving through the asteroid field, like disrupting it. There are asteroids like not big ones, but like the smaller ones, things this big, are being like thrown out of the path. And there's something just kind of like moving in this wide sweeping circuit in front of the ship itself. And then it sort of pauses and begins like descending at you. And I think you guys are seeing like rocks come like flying in your direction. Others are like heaving straight up. And why don't I have all of you make an Arcana check, maybe, to see if
is history arguable? Or is it specifically Arcana?
Go for it. For you, a history check might be reasonable.
Okay.
One moment, please. Oh.
Okay, I think that Reggie and I think that Lux, the pair of you recognize as it begins to like close in on the ship. It's just this whirling vortex. There's like rubble sucked up in it, and it's moving with this like decisive purpose. I don't know that any of you have ever necessarily seen an elemental before, but it's an air elemental. And I'm going to say...
You saw a fire elemental in his thing.
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yeah, you sure did. Heck yeah. And so I'm going to say, at 10:46, let's roll initiative.
Yes, yes. I'm so here for this. I'm changing a cantrip, but that should...
No problem.
Because we slept. Apparently, Tasha's is the greatest thing ever invented.
Pretty good.
I mean, pretty freaking cool, you know? Nice. Not too bad.
Nice.
Not too bad.
Yeah, you guys are good. This is way better than the initiative from yesterday. Okay.
But which one do I drop?
The professor and Doc are going to be able to act first. This air elemental is like surging down. It's kind of above the ship as it comes, and it's kind of like approaching from behind. Yep.
Okay. An air elemental is approaching the ship.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first thing that happens is that the professor quickly turns around in order to see who is ready to go, and immediately recognizes that it is Doc.
Mm-hmm.
So he points to Doc and he says, "Come on now, more quickly, please," and casts haste on her.
Oh!
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Were you going to go fight Baba Yaga, Doc?
Yeah! Let me fight all the things. Oh my god.
And then just steps back a little bit, and that is my turn.
Yeah, that's some epic shit. Okay, Professor, that was you. Doc, you're
Oh
up.
my gosh. I was like trying to figure out what I was going to do, and that may have just like changed everything.
I will put haste in the chat as a reminder. But it is +2 to your AC. Your speed is doubled. You have advantage on dex saves, and you have an additional action each turn.
Yes.
Nuts.
Okay. Can I run down like the tail of the dragonfly so that I am...
Oh, that's a different direction than I thought. Sorry.
Sort of near the air elemental?
I think you could, yeah.
Yeah, although it's 5 feet away. Interesting.
It's a pain in the ass sometimes when you go before the baddies.
It is. Also, can you remind me of the second action? Can I cast 2 cantrips once hasted as an action?
Can only be used to take attack, disengage, hide, or use an object. So technically, no.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Let me just do a quick misery poo. Great. Okay. How fast am I? I'm used to being faster than I am. Yeah. Okay.
That monk speed is addictive, Melissa. I was
It's
like,
so good.
110
But your speed is
feet
doubled.
around.
Your speed is doubled.
I know. Yeah,
do a
but
lot.
doubled is 60, not 80.
Wah.
Fine. It's perfectly reasonable speed to move.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, in 6 seconds.
It's like some smaller portion of 6 seconds, even, Grace, right?
Yeah, because I also have to do all the other things.
All the other stuff. True.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm going to. So I dash as it's one action.
Mm-hmm.
And then I am going to. I'm gonna send a firebolt at it.
You don't have to dash as your one action to get there. Your move speed's automatically doubled, right?
Oh yeah.
That hits.
Yeah, great. Okay.
Fire launches off your hand, like kind of glancing off of the wind.
2d10 equals 2.
So annoying.
Yeah, that's painful, my friend. I'm sorry.
That is so painful.
I had a couple of those yesterday. Like, how is that mathematic? Oh, right. I rolled as low as conceivably possible. That's how it.
Yeah. Could I, for my second action, can I hold it so that if it gets within range of me, I can like ready my battle axe?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
That's very cool.
I'm gonna do that, and then Waffle is gonna fly 40 feet, and also like not get anywhere useful. But I don't think I'm gonna have him do anything else. Okay, that's my turn.
Okay, got it. On 16, it goes. It's going to come like surging up on the end of the ship, right at you as you've like drawn its ire with this fire. I made a rhyme.
There's like barely fire. Come on, dude.
I know, I'm such a jerk. And really, it's just that you're closest, and then you like dared to shoot at it. It comes flying down at you, and it's just going to take 2 slam attacks right here.
Okay, but I was holding my action.
You sure do. Go for it. So you may use your hold action. Held action.
Does a 16 hit?
Yes, it sure does.
Okay, 15 slashing damage.
You make 2 attacks around.
That's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do.
I get to go again?
Yeah, do.
Okay. Cool. That's a lot of...
The axe, like, just rips through the air. Holy crap, Doc.
Yeah, I don't know why I try to do spell things.
For 27 points of damage. It works. When dudes are like 100 feet away from you, you throw spells at them. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. The 15 doesn't hit. The crit obviously does.
Oh, yeah. Delayed 20!
Yeah.
That was 27 points of damage from your 2 attacks. 18 for his crit. He's feeble. He like punches into you, and you like hold your footing, like standing here on the tail section of the dragonfly as it flies, hoping Jake can keep it stable underneath you. That was this guy's simple turn. Lux, you're up on 14.
Yeah. I think Lux is going to yeah, no, not that. She will use her bonus action to planar warrior and fire her longbow at this elemental.
Got it.
So 17.
That'll hit.
Sweet. Aw, sad. Okay, second attack. 14.
Misses. The second arrow, like, blown away.
Okay.
That was your action, bonus action movement?
I think she'll just get a little bit closer. Yeah. Let me actually see. Okay, right there. Okay.
Okay, Raya, you're up.
Pink.
Let's move. Sure, we'll stay there. Let's guiding bolt it first.
Mm-hmm. 26 hits.
Yeah.
Wow.
Radiant damage.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Little turtles. Shells.
Yes.
Fly out. And then, because we're on Dragonfly, I can cast 2 spells. Eternal. It's a weapon.
Damn right you can.
And it has advantage, right? Because the guiding bolt hit.
You missed it yesterday during that TPK. There was a point where a turtle was conjured, and it was Chompers. And I was like, Chompers! Chompers! Poto used it for their healing spirit. And
incredible.
I was like shocked, because of course it was like we both just searched turtle in the Roll20 and took the first one that popped up. So it was Chompers. I know that turtle, you know.
Yes.
I know that turtle. That's great. I know that turtle. For 8 force damage.
Got it. As Chompers like cleaves into this quickly diminishing earth elemental, Rhea, or air elemental, Rhea. That was your action on 12.
That was my movement and my bonus action, so.
Okay. Professor, you're up.
Again. Wow. Okay. The professor will, seeing the damage that is being done by Doc, will maintain concentration on the haste. And then instead, goodness. Why not? He will step forward as much as he needs to, which is none. Great. And cast a Scorching Ray. And attempt to hit it with 3 rays of scorching.
3 rays of scorching. Okay, go for it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
3 rays of fire.
Yeah,
Here we go.
That's exactly
That's going to be in the musical, right? 3 rays of scorching.
3 rays of scorching. 1 whale shark. Yeah, that's
18, 19, that one.
Hit, miss.
So there's a total of 10 fire damage.
Nice. Look at you guys with the pre-roll.
And
yep.
I think Reg will just step over here. Actually, no. Hold on. He might move a little bit closer. Let's see where this thing is. He will move ever so slightly closer, and that will be his turn.
Okie dokie. Doc, you're up.
Great. So Waffle can fly, so can he get to the other side of this air elemental?
Yeah, for sure. Why not?
Great. I'm going to hit a lot.
A lot.
Yes.
12.
No,
oh, wait, 19.
Yeah, that hits. This is rough.
Great.
Okay.
I hope you didn't want this air elemental to last very long.
I didn't. I just wanted to use it to throw you off the ship, but I hesitated. Yep, second attack hits.
Yeah.
Oof.
Third
Hits.
attack.
I think Melissa, you should tell us what it looks like as we watch Doc and Waffle standing on the tail section of the ship, hasted, like cutting the air to death.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think it's like just this series of it's these two-handed swings, and I think this is something that like Doc spent a lot of time on her own, and so going through these like rhythms was like part of her training, and so it's just this like very serious face as she like swings, and then she'll kind of turn and do it again, and it's just as if she's like doing this cadence of swings, and because it just like slicing through normally the air in front of her, but now it's the air elemental in front of her.
Yeah, I think you just hear this terrible howling, like this roar of like wind as like rocks kind of like explode and are thrown out in every direction, like kind of scattering into the midst of this asteroid next to you. This elemental is destroyed, but I think you could see people on the deck of Occam's ship like pointing down. There's somebody like right at the prow pointing down to you, and it starts to pitch a little bit, and suddenly like the ship lurches under your feet, Doc, as you like drop into like the surfing position, catching your balance, and the Dragonfly like starts to like weave through the asteroid field with this massive ship of Occam the Builder chasing after you. And I think, my friends, that's where we'll leave our adventurers today.
Ooh.
Yeah. Can I have quick? What Oh my god.
Epilogue. It's fine. It's a long night. Epilogue.
I just wanted to know how far the ship was from us.
Yeah, it's pretty far. It's like a couple 100 feet. You could probably shoot bow shots at it. Maybe throw a fire.
Well, no, I think Lux would just like fire a warning shot.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. Just for funsies.
They fired a warning shot. That's the stinger at the end of the episode.
Great. I feel good.
Cool.
That's great.
I hope that was fun, you guys. I hope you guys had fun. This was
great.
A very different episode of like just hanging out, but like you guys were just getting into it, and like I didn't want to. I don't know. I just didn't want to like.
Who knows?
Too quickly.
Who knows if it's the best streaming content in the world? But I'm having fun with it. Right?
That felt great. Yeah.
I really enjoy just getting to dip into, like Grace bringing up all the like we don't know who we work for and like what their motivations are, and we're now put in this situation where like who are we going to lie to now, and what kind of hot water could that get us in? That's fun. That's been sitting there for a while.
I'm a big fan. I very much love it that we're starting to like dig into some of this stuff and see what's going on and like explore, all of your characters' perspectives of like what they're doing here. There was all kinds of interesting stuff. I mean, the like contest reveal.
The contest. Yeah. Yep.
It's very exciting.
I've been sitting on that one for a little. I felt like that was something that would probably come up sooner rather than later. So,
you think we all did a cartography quiz?
No, I think he just presumes that like
we all had our own individual tests. No, yeah.
It's like a pretty fair assumption.
Yeah, he's like, well, of course, like Yavanna had this contest or whatever to like find the best possible person for this, and so of course that's me, and then the others are of course the best possible person in something. So there was some sort of selection. The notion
making things.
Oh, the notion that Lux was like, oh, I know a girl, like I know someone, and like that's how Doc got on the ship is just
unfathomable.
Well, a very
it's also
skilled.
Like this is the smartest person, like I know this person.
Yeah, I guess that is like an interesting question too. Like, if and I'm trying to remember if like Yavanna was looking for people, or if like, well, no, that's the wrong wording.
Was it like recruitment or like were we found?
Yes,
the combination. Right?
I think it is a combination.
I think I know what happened, but. Like with Ray, not with anybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad we're at a point that we're starting to talk about it, because I do want you guys to start thinking about it, because I think like soon here we need to have the like circle back of like, wait, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's sooner than later before I think Yavanna enters the story at this point. Cool.
She kind of has entered the story.
I know. I really enjoyed tonight a lot. I had like a lot of fun watching you guys kind of just dig into each other and like enjoy role playing with each other, right? And it could be like such a hard thing as a DM to know like when you let that go and like when you step in, right? When like a thing happens. So I was excited. I knew the sharp jumper.
Well, it helped that you had some major audio issues for a while there. So
it was good.
Well. Yeah. I also like this conversation is happening, and like I am like trying to parse through like what would Ray do in this moment of like this like based on like backstory character stuff, and then you freaking have Ben drop this thing. It's like home is wherever you wanted to be. It's like too like it aligns to it. It's like Ray would just leave the room. Like Ray's gonna go. Yeah,
I get it. I like that bit. It was good. And like the whole thing with Sharp Jumper like needs a friend. Like he's a really sad little guy. He can't like touch anybody, and he's like, I bet I can be friends with that little metal person.
I really can't.
Yeah. I was looking at my sheet when we were talking about the rest. I have protection from poison.
And I was gonna ask, like, Rich, if we cast it on him, he's not like protected from poison. He just is poisonous.
Yeah.
So he is not protected from poison, therefore not poison.
Cast it on us and then
hug him.
And then hug
him.
I mean, I was gonna say Lux just like we'll test the poison to see how bad it is, but just give him a hug.
No, actually. it's for the duration. The target has advantage on saving throws against being poisoned. But we could like hug him and then be poisoned, and then
to poison damage,
and then neutralize the poison. So immediately after you hug,
you could do that. You know, some guidance. You give yourself some advantage on the saving throws. I think like there's the mechanical part of it, but then there is the literal like, I'm covered in poison. You know,
like, I can't like live knowing that this poor little guy just wants a freaking hug.
It really counterbalanced the plant that wants blood and bones.
Yeah. What a reveal.
Yeah. You were so happy to go talk to the plant, and then Rich dropped, just like blood. If you have any blood.
I'm like, I can give fertilizer, you know. I need blood. And bone meal. Like, okay.
I mean, listen, you work in a greenhouse. Am I wrong? Some plants love dead stuff in the dirt.
Man. It is classic D&D, though, that as this conversation is happening, I'm like going through my spell list, and I'm like, is there anything that creates blood? Is there anything that creates blood? As if that could possibly be something that I have at hand. But
yeah, there's got to be some sort of substitute that we can figure out.
I mean,
but I don't know. Who knows?
Oh, I have Crater Destroy Blood. No.
I love this game, you guys. I really do. I look forward to it every week. It's like such a good time. Same. I have so much fun with it, and I really enjoyed this episode a lot. So I'm glad that you guys had fun. Yeah. You guys are all pretty busy and got stuff going on. What's going on with everybody? Like, who's got stuff going on this week that we should talk about?
I'll be quick, so I'll go first.
Go first.
Which is the finale of Black Widow Brigade is airing tonight, I think. And it is a 10 episode series, I think, on YouTube. Most of the episodes are relatively short, under an hour. And it's a really fun social strategy game where all of the players get to continue to play to some extent until the very, very end. And you don't know what their roles are until quite near the end. Mm-hmm. So, if you're averse to spoilers, don't search it on Twitter because there's probably going to be spoilers out there. But if not, go on YouTube. And I know at least one person messaged me yesterday and was like, hey, I want to start watching. Like, is it worth it? I'm like, are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. It's amazing. So Black Widow Brigade, check that out. I will also preemptively plug the Dungeons & Dragons and Discord podcast, but you'll get more details about that shortly. But I think a bunch of people here made an appearance, and I've heard nothing but great things. I look forward to listening to it myself soon. That's it. Other than that, just be lovely to one another. We're coming into the winter season here in the States and Canada. And so do whatever you got to do to hunker down for the winter and protect yourself against that seasonal depression that hits so many people. So get outside, do your exercise, eat your food, drink water, sleep, all the things we know and love.
Really well said. There was a lot of very good stuff. You should go watch Black Widow Brigade. It's equal parts infuriating and delightful. It's so much fun. It's a really great game. It's very compelling instantly from the minute you start. And I guess I know what I'm doing tonight. I'm oh yeah, I'm casually watching the Black Widow Brigade. Except that no, I watch it as soon as it drops. You know? Yeah.
I'm recapping on Silent Podcast Network. So
yeah, well, what else are you doing, Grace?
Yeah, we did 3 podcasts on it. The last one should come out. We're recording on a Wednesday night, tomorrow night. So that's there. Talk about Troy on a podcast. Mm-hmm. Strange experience. Mm-hmm. Succession season 3, covering it. I'll post your recaps with Josh Wigler, Jess Sterling.
Sorry, Grace, can I just interrupt you and just say on the podcast thing? I got a message from Alex, the creator and host of Black Widow Brigade, and he was like, someone on the podcast said they knew you really well. That's do you know her?
That's so and I was funny.
Yeah. I talk to Grace almost every day now.
I think it's funny because when you played in this and you are going as Troy, it's a very unusual, you are DJ LaBelle Klein. I think probably when this is filming, right? You're still probably
I had just disclosed that my name was Troy to other people. I was otherwise in this persona of a wand off DJ.
Yeah, so it's so funny that that's filmed at a time before we knew each other.
I listened to that first podcast episode, Grace. Yeah, and I hear you saying it. You're like talking all the time. You're like, oh yeah, like Troy and I have started DMing together. We like have gotten pretty close. We like work together in the D&D space, and I'm just like, yes. Made me so happy. I was like, they do. That's true. I know it's true.
Even like this, but like, it's, when I started podcast, there's a lot of people on there who I like now know because this community is like not that big, it's pretty like, I think literally there's one person who I like haven't like talked to, which is Lexi, who also other people on the show didn't know. So it's fun. Succession season 3. Also doing some movie review. There should be a podcast coming out this week where we talk about some movies that came out in September. There's not a lot of good stuff that came out in September, folks. I have to say. So look out for our dear Heaven Hansen.
Oh my goodness! I can't watch it.
Tap on the glass.
Yeah.
So, James Bond recap on the Patreon for post show recaps. Taskmaster on twitch.tv/HaleyStrong every Friday. That's what I'll plug. That's what I got going on. At Hi from Grace.
Yeah. Go follow Grace. She's doing a ton of stuff. Melissa, how about you?
Melissa W28 on Twitter. I was on Taskmaster with Grace last week, Dungeons and Dragons in Discord with all of these lovely folks last week. Otherwise, for the YA podcast on the PSR Patreon, we watched Detention and talked to the very lovely Todd the Librarian about it, who's a friend of all of ours. And it's a really weird movie, but I didn't hate the experience of watching it, so I think it's going to be a fun podcast, and I think I recommend people watch it. Which is a weird thing for me to say about a horror movie, but it's not that scary. It's more funny and weird. It's very, very weird. My general takeaway was what am I watching? What just happened? So I don't know if that's the vibe you're into in a movie, then check it out. So that'll drop I think on Friday.
Are you guys doing horror movies all month?
We're doing and it's our spooky month. So
that's what it was called.
That's so funny.
That's amazing.
So it's Detention this week, and then we announced it on the podcast, but we're doing the Goosebumps movie next week.
Oh, okay, cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So Kevin has gone easy on me. We're not watching really scary stuff. I think.
Yeah, good. So
I think it'll be okay. But and then I've got something on Friday. I don't know. Maybe we'll.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun and exciting. That'll be pretty good. Taylor, how about you? You got anything you want to just hype up and put out into the world? Energize anything?
Energize.
Survivors tomorrow.
Yeah, you did that last week too. Yes. We all. we all kind of like that show. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's kind of it.
Okay.
I don't have anything going on at the moment other than being in the D&D and the other stuff.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff that she's here to do. Dungeons and Dragons Discord is I guess my podcast at the Post Show Recaps Patreon network. And all these people were here in the last 2 weeks. I did 2 weeks ago, a long 3-hour conversation with Troy about an adventure that he put together and ran, and just D&D in general, what got him here, his kind of stories, history with the game. And then this week I had Grace and Melissa and Taylor all there, and we talked for a little bit and we played for a bit, and it was very cool. Char.
I will say, when I found out that you all talked for 45 minutes and then played a session after that, I was very jealous. And I was like, wait, hold on. So Rich and I could have just gone the Cliff's Notes in 30 minutes and he would have done a one-on-one session with me? Come on!
That's hilarious.
I think the takeaway is that 3 of us only talked for 45 minutes and it took you 3 hours to go.
I mean, we could have easily done a 9-hour podcast, and we started late, and I was we started recording at 10 o'clock at night, and I was like, I gotta get these ladies out of here at a reasonable hour. Anyway, we did that podcast last week. You can catch it at patreon.com/postshowrecaps. Dungeons and Dragons Discord is the name of the podcast. Just off the book stuff that's not content, but we played a Monty Python one shot this week, which was freaking awesome. DM by Grace and Melissa. It was such a good freaking time. Yesterday I was with my friends over at Sabotage the DM. I did a TPK. They have a total party knockout where we're a bunch of high level characters fight monsters. So I played an awesome badass fighter monk who fought Baba Yaga. Harry. And then the real exciting news is Friday, 8 p.m. That's the right time, right?
This
8 p.m.
Friday?
Eastern.
Yep.
This
Friday?
Friday.
This
8 p.m.
Friday.
Eastern?
8 p.m. Eastern. Friday, October 8th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Coming to you. This is totally the wrong voice to promo.
Yeah, that's
Humble Year!
Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. We're going to play Humblewood campaign.
Cutest thing on Twitch.
It is going to be the cutest thing on Twitch. It's really adorable, you guys. So we have Grayson, Melissa, and our friend Aiden, and our friends Austin and Aston, who you may well know those people, or they may be just names in the ether for you. But if you like this show, you're going to like that show. It's going to be a really good time. Humblewood is like a very cool D&D project that was put out a couple of years ago in a Kickstarter. And so we're playing a bunch of cutesy forest animals in the Yorewood, in Aglarond, on Faerun, in the Forgotten Realms. And they're awesome. And they're going to do cool shit and be adorable. So it's very cool. We have a very cool cast, very cool characters.
The tagline, the cutest show on Twitch, definitely needs to be in every time that you talk about
Okay,
this.
Humble Your, instead of D&D in space, it's the cutest show on Twitch.
It's Humble Your :
the cutest show on Twitch.
Much like it's Dragonfly : D&D in space.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's my unsolicited marketing advice, because it's going to be cute and it's an amazing cast.
I want it. I need that unsolicited marketing advice. We need to put these cute people on freaking TikTok, it sounds like to me. Anyway, that's mostly what I have going on. Yeah, that's what I have going on this week. Keep an eye out. More Dungeons & Dragons at Discord always coming. I'm streaming stuff here. It's going to be a fun big week. But yeah, come hang out with us on Friday, because I think it's going to be a very, very, very fun show. And that's it. That's what I got.
Love it.
Cool. With that, I suppose we will make our way off the internet. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Bye.